Network is proud to present this big-time matchup in North Louisiana as the Neville Tigers come over from Monroe to take on the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers. Calvary Baptist, the defending Division III state champions, while the Neville Tigers, they've won 12 state championships during their proud history over in Monroe. Hello, everyone. Jeff Palermo, along with former LSU Tiger national champion Derry Beckwith, back on Monday. This game wasn't even on the schedule, but because of some cancellations as a result of Hurricane Francine, these two Titans in North Louisiana decided to get together on this Friday night, and it should be a lot of fun, Derry.
One word from both teams is compete.
Yeah.
Don't matter who they play, when they play, and how they play. They want to have great competition. Walking on the field pregame, you're going to see some great athletes tonight. So the viewers at home are in for a great matchup.
Well, let's talk about these two teams briefly before the kickoff. This is the second week in a row that Neville's had to come over to the Shreveport area. Last week they took on Evangel, and they got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they ended up winning that game 42-24.
Neville offensively loves to be physical. They love to get their quarterback on defense. You're going to see great guys on defense tonight get after him. A lot of D1 players, so looking for a physical matchup. Neville wants to control the clock, running the football, and playing tough defense.
And then a big-time matchup between Calvary Baptist and Oak Grove, a matchup of two teams that won state championships last year. It was won by Calvary Baptist. 62 points Calvary Baptist put up in that game.
Their offense is explosive. One word, James Simon, who's one of the best running backs in the country. But don't let it fool you. Calvary can throw the football, so look them to go to the air tonight. And also defensive for Calvary. They play a zone defense that like to keep everything in front, come down and make the tackle. Looking forward to it.
All right, we're getting underway here. Brooks Yerger's got it teed up, and we are underway from Calvary Baptist High School. Glad you could join us. Colby Thomas on the return, and he gets hit inside his own 15-yard line. Taken down on the play by Jaden Reed, and a good start for Neville on special teams.
So it's going to be interesting to see what this Calvary offense comes out in this first possession. Do they try to get James Simon involved early, or try to go through the air and see if they get this passing game going?
So Abram Wardell, the starting quarterback for Calvary Baptist, has put up some huge numbers. Last week, 417 yards, 7 touchdowns he threw in that game. Man in motion right off the bat, Brent Bigelow. And they're going to try to establish Simon, and he gets tossed down to the turf. Great tackle there by Jacoby Collins, a sophomore linebacker who will be a good one for Neville.
Talking to Coach Collins before the game, he loves his defense. These guys can play base defense, put their hands on the blocker, engage, and get off a block. So I expect Neville to be physical on defense. They don't have to bring a lot of pressure to be effective. So it's interesting to see if Calvary Baptist does something different offensively and try to maybe establish a run to attack them through the air.
So 2nd down and 11. As Wardell looking over to defense. And he'll quickly get rid of it. And nice job by the receiver to make the first man miss, getting all the way up to the 20-yard line. Some quick moves on the outside there by the Louisiana Tech commitment, Colby Thomas.
And for a defense like Neville, who's like to get out the quarterback and get to the football, offensively you want to take quick shots, quick screens, slants, and hitch routes to pick up some positive yards to get you in the third and manageable position.
Marvin Williams is the offensive coordinator for Calvary Baptist, former player here, and also coaches in the UFL for San Antonio. 3rd down and 5. Again, Wardell gets rid of it, gets it to Simon, and Simon, he can be a weapon out of the backfield in the passing game. Last year he had 20 catches, and then last week he caught 6 passes for 106 yards.
He's definitely a dual threat running back. Right here, a little swing pass, gets him on the flat. If I get James Simon on one-on-one matchup in the flat, I like that matchup for James Simon. Picks up the 1st down for Calvary Baptist.
Richard White made the stop, a senior for the Neville Tigers. And it's a 1st down and 10 as they convert it on 3rd down. Simon is 6'1", 210 pounds. And he's going to get a carry here. Gets away from one defender. A stiff arm Gets him all the way up to the 33-yard line. Jaden Reed came up and made the tackle, the weak safety. And there you take a look at Abram Wardell. Look at those numbers, Derry. He would never throw for 417 yards with Derry Beckwith on the field, right?
Not so fast. I'm not going to say that. The guy's incredible. He's a great talent, also a great leader. Obviously, winning a championship, it does something to you. So I think he is addicted to getting back to New Orleans this year.
45 touchdown passes last year to just 2 interceptions. Here's the pass out into the flat. Braylon Hugon, and Hugon's in the clear all the way up to the 40-yard line. Nearly busted it, did the sophomore. Started as a cornerback last year as a freshman. Now he's playing some offense, and he got some good blocking here, Derry.
Great RPO to get out to Braylon. He gets out in the flat. Great run against his defense. Another first down for this Calvary Baptist offense.
Now into Neville territory. Simon gets the carry, and he is going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Good job by that Neville defensive front to blow that play up, led by Jason Parker, who is a dynamic, explosive player for the Neville Tigers, and he'll bring up second down and 10.
No gain on the play. It's second down and 10.
To stop a running back like James Simon in this prolific running game, you have to get 11 guys to the football. You have to be able to get off of blocks as well.
Colby Thomas in motion. Wardell will go back to the air. Pump fakes, throws. Great job by the defender to break on the football. Cameron Riley, the Raging Cajun commitment, comes in with a nice PD. Let's take a look at Calvary Baptist's offense, brought to you by Farm Bureau. And we'll be obviously talking a lot about Wardell and Simon. Caleb Tucker's a good one, too. He's committed to Texas Southern. Dalen Wilson will probably play both ways. Had 3 catches last week. And then the offensive line, no Hayden Darner out there tonight for Calvary Baptist. So Cooper Thomas gets the start at center. And Simon runs right into Brody Watley, the 3-year starter who's committed to TCU. He came in as a 185-pounder. Now he's 6'4", 250 pounds.
And the coaches talked about in the offseason and how he got in the weight room, got himself beefed up, and turned himself a Division I football player. Great play right there on that delayed handoff.
Calvary Baptist keeps the offense on the field on this 4th down play. Opening drive of the night here on the LHSAA network. Glad he could join us. Wardell looking to make a play. He's got time, lofts one, and there is nobody there. And then he just, the receiver broke one way and the pass with the other, and Calvary Baptist's offense on its first drive stalls after scoring 62 points last week against Oak Grove.
That's a great win by Neville defense. Anytime an offense, like you said last week, can score 62 points, you know they're explosive. And so what Neville wants to do is get Calvary Baptist in 3rd long situations so they can keep everything in front and get out the football field. Did a great job in this series by that Neville defense.
6'3", 185-pound sophomore quarterback Parker Robinson, who threw for over 130 yards last week and a couple of touchdowns. He's also a good basketball player. He won the starting quarterback job in the preseason over Brock Jordan. There's a chance we could see Brock Jordan tonight as well. Neville's getting an offensive lineman on the field here late. That's Max Southern who runs out there at the last minute. And Calvary Baptist jumps offside, and that is David Weeks, a 2-year starter.
But the season just beginning too, obviously in the week 2, you still may have penalties. You want to eliminate mistakes, especially in a ball game like this, because these teams are so evenly matched. Whoever makes the less amount of mistakes will probably put themselves in a better position to win this football game.
Neville Tigers, they're going to look to run the ball with Jalen Nichols, but they got a good group of receivers, including their head coach, Mike Collins, says this is the best group of receivers that he's had here at Neville, and this is his 4th season. There's Nichols on the carry. The senior had 165 yards rushing against Evangel last week. So Robinson, Nichols, Javari Lockhart, Caleb Vaughn is one of the fastest guys in the state. Trenton Dumas, very good player as well. Back they go here on this 2nd down play. It was 2nd down and short after the 5-yard penalty. So Neville picks up the 1st down in the Cavalier territory as Nichols gets to carry. A Farm Bureau 1st down, the first one of the night for Parker Robinson and the Neville Tigers. Andy Robinson is the passing game coordinator for Neville, and then it's Glenn Hunt who's the running game coordinator, and they go on the ground here with Nichols.
Great job that time by Jalen Nichols, following his guard and tackle on their pulls. Stay behind his pads, very patient runner, picks up positive yards on this first down.
Well, the officials are having a discussion here. I did not see a penalty flag thrown. There is. I guess there was one.
10-yard penalty, previous spot. Remain first down.
So holding penalty on Neville. It's first penalty, but already off the bat, Derry, we're seeing what Neville wants to do. Line up in 11 personnel, be physical, run right at you, and then eventually they're going to use the play action to really open up the passing game.
They want to control the clock. Calvary Baptist offense is explosive, so you want to keep them on the sidelines as much as possible. So they're going to take their time when they get to the line of scrimmage. They're going to let that clock run down, snap the ball, and pick up positive yards by running the football.
Parker Robinson getting better every day, commands the offense. Players really respect him, even though he's a sophomore. And they'll run it on first down and long, and there's a lot of running room for Nichols. Nichols got one man to beat. He's going to take it to the house. 55 yards for a touchdown, but there is a flag, and it may be coming back. There is no celebration on the Neville sidelines.
Come to me, I can't hear you. The number.
And it's certainly coming back. So the holding penalty negates the touchdown.
Robert, you got it.
Right here, Jalen Nichols bounces the outside. Looks like they got number 18 on that holding call right there on the outside. Got the defender down. If he'd have kept his hands inside, let him go. There was no need to continue to block. Nichols had the edge. Coach Collins probably going to address that at halftime to make sure they limit these penalties.
If it was number 18, that's Thomas Campbell. He's the younger brother of Will Campbell, the LSU All-American offensive lineman. Robinson going deep, single coverage, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit Javari Lockhart, a speedy receiver, 6'1" senior. Let's take a look at the Farm Bureau starting lineup for Calvary Baptist. Caden Marcray, Ethan Sands, and David Weeks. Very good defensive linemen there for Calvary Baptist. Cole Miller is a tackling machine. Last year, 95 tackles. Justin Reeves, Dalen Wilson, Julian Moss are the other linebackers. And now getting a chance is Tardashi Lemons. And Lemons, he is streaking down the sidelines and just shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Big run there for Tardashi Lemons, and he's 5'4", Derry. He's hard to spot. Great block, taking out Justin Reeves.
Absolutely, does a great job of following his guard, stands behind his pad, sees the hole, hits it, gets downfield, and picks up the first down for this Neville offense.
That's a 44-yard run for Lemons, and now they go back to Nichols. Nichols trying to get his way towards the end zone, and then piled up at the 6-yard line. But that's what you're going to get, the heavy dose of Nichols at 5'11", 180, and then you're going to sprinkle in the 5'4", 130 Lemons.
And Neville has an athletic offensive lineman, so anytime you have an athletic offensive lineman, you're going to see a lot of guard tackle pulls tonight to get these guys on the edge.
Neville looking to strike first. Nichols, he can walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Impressive drive for Neville, considering they had 2 holding penalties, Derry.
Absolutely. They want to run the football. That's their DNA. That's their identity, and they showed it on their first possession.
And again, some great blocking. Nick Ochoa, how about this? 6 foot, 320 pounds, only a sophomore. I talked to Mike Collins about him before the game. He said he's going to be a good one.
That's a business decision, Jeff. If I got in front of him, that's a business decision. Again, they pulled him. He led with the H-back of the guard to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Neville Tigers.
Brooks Yarger will try the extra point. And it is through the upright. Well, the high school spotlight is in its 2nd season and airs live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on the LHSAA Network Live channel. The high school spotlight features all of the top stories in high school athletics from around the state in all of the sports. Glad you could join us on the LHSAA network. Our first live broadcast from North Louisiana. Really couldn't pick out a better game between these two teams. And for the Neville Tigers, last year they went 8-2. Disappointing end to the season, losing to Central in the opening round of the playoffs. It's been a while since they've been to the state championship game. There was some turmoil, obviously, during the offseason with Jeff Tannehill stepping down and then his good friend Mike Collins taking over as the head coach. But there also does seem, just kind of learning more about Neville this week, there is a lot of excitement around this program, and a lot of people believe this could be one of the better Neville teams that they've had in the last few years. Good return developing here for Colby Thomas as he gets it out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Taken down on the play by Marshall Burkett, a senior safety, but a nice return by Colby.
And Neville is one of those programs historically has always been great. It's like autopilot. It runs itself. Talking to Coach Collins before the game, he said this is one of the easiest jobs that he's ever had because the way the program has been established, and they're hungry to get back to the state championship game and bring home another title to the Monroe area.
They have not been to the state title game since 2016. The last one they won was 2015. They are ranked 7th in Class 5A. Calvary Baptist, they have a 15-game winning streak coming into this matchup. And going back to the air, and that might have been batted at the line of scrimmage. Abram Wardell, 6 foot, 180 pounds. How about this stat that he has been able to put up during his high school career? 85 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. That's amazing.
Jeff, I'm not great at math, but I know that's a good statistic. The guy does a phenomenal job. Had a chance to watch him last year in the state championship game. He was incredible and great leader, great quarterback for this team.
249 all-purpose yards in that state championship game. James Simon, he was the most outstanding player for Calvary in that state title game, and what a victory it was a season ago as we've hit the hydration timeout here. As Simon had 3 touchdown runs and that come from behind victory over St. Charles Catholic in the Division III Select State Championship game. We'll take a break. Neville's up 7-0. You're watching the LHSAA Network.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Calvary Baptist High School. Abram Wardell now trying to make something happen after the Neville Tigers went 7 plays, 73 yards on its opening drive for a touchdown. Wardell feeling the pressure, and he's going to go down. That is Jason Parker there for the sack. Coach Collins told me this kid is dynamic and explosive. He did not play last year. Was a basketball player. I can see why. He's on the football field this year, Derry.
Absolutely. Uses his hands really good to engage the blocker, gets off the block, exposes the field, and gets a sack on his 3rd down. Right here, Wardell rolls out. He stays into contact, makes a play. Good job.
And that's going to be holding on Neville, their 3rd holding penalty. How about that?
Yeah, those are mistakes that you don't want to have, especially defensively. And with the offense, with like Calvary, who can put up points in an instant. Anytime you have an opportunity to get off the field and get your offense the ball, you want to do that. So that's something that they probably will have to get corrected.
Right now, Derry, what we're seeing, I know there was a penalty there on Neville, but Neville is controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides. I mean, that is pretty obvious through the first 6 minutes and 5 seconds of this game.
It holds true on any level. If you could dominate the line of scrimmage, you put yourself in position to be successful.
And you got to stay away from penalties, too. Can't have too many more of those. Rodney Guin is the head coach for Calvary Baptist in his 8th season. First down and 10. Here comes Parker, and he gets rid of it. Pass is complete. Moving upfield is Dalen Wilson. Had 3 catches last week. He's a transfer from Duncanville, Texas. Duncanville, of course, has a big-time program. His dad, Derwin Wilson, is an assistant coach. They moved into the district, and this kid's going to be making plays for Calvary Baptist this season.
Good job by Wardell by eluding that pressure from Parker. Parker probably when they go to the upfield shoulder, but great job by Wardell getting that completion for a first down.
And there he's got it again. Does Wilson, then he coughs it up. And Neville's going to have it. Recovered by Jacoby Collins. Turnover number 1 in this football game as the senior Wilson had the ball jarred away from him.
Right here, Wardell gets out to Wilson. They get the RPO block, gets upfield, has to hang on to the football. They come into the play.
Connor Vincent, who forced a fumble last week in the win against Evangel, does it here again tonight, knocking that ball loose. And Neville's offense back out on the field here with Parker Robinson.
This is critical for Calvary Baptist defense. This is a huge possession because you don't want to go down 2 scores against this Neville team because they like to control the clock and run the football.
Well, Calvary has called a timeout. There seems to be a lot of confusion there. Looks like, again, they didn't get a player on the field. I think they were only playing with 10 guys. Nate Young, for whatever reason. How about this crowd here tonight and this atmosphere, Terry, for this huge game? And be sure to download the LHSAA Live mobile app to stay up to date with scores, schedules, news, and more. The LHSAA Live mobile app is your trusted source for all things LHSAA, available in the Apple App Store and Android app on Google Play. But look at this crowd here tonight. This is what it's all about.
That shows support from both sides. Anytime, last minute, you find out you're going to play each other, Neville has to come back to Shreveport again. But look, they have a great crowd. They bring a lot of people, so great job by both fan bases to go out and support these young student athletes. And
there's movement in the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be on Zamarian Baker. The 265-pound lineman jumped, and that's going to be a free 5 yards for Neville. Calvary Baptist, they were scheduled to play Westgate from New Iberia. And, of course, with Hurricane Francine threatening Louisiana's coast, it was quickly determined that game was not going to happen. And then the Neville Tigers, they were supposed to play Southside, which is in Youngsville, Louisiana, a suburb of Lafayette. That game gets canceled. And then Coach Guin and Collins, good friends, going way back in the day, from Coach Collins recruiting all of Guin's players. Whether it was at Houghton, whether it was here at Calvary Baptist, the two hooked up, and what a matchup. Pass is thrown out here to the flat. Nichols is going to lose the ball, and Calvary Baptist jumps on it. They get the turnover. Recovering the football is Julius Moss, the 3-star prospect committed to Air Force.
So right here on this play, they get out to Jalen Nichols, an explosive running back, trying to make something happen. He finds him downfield, wants to hold on to the football, but outstanding play by Julian Moss, getting that ball and ripping it and getting on. That's textbook. That is Tyron Matthew, Honey Badger. He will be so proud right now seeing that play.
I think Justin Reeves also got in there to jar that ball loose for Calvary Baptist, and they got new life here. 5:02 to go in the opening quarter. The Cavaliers have yet to score. They've had 2 drives and in Neville territory. Looking to change it here. Simon running off the right side. Simon across the 25 and then tackled out of bounds by Cameron Riley. And that should be enough for a first down. Oh, another flag though. Another flag. Boy, the holding penalties here tonight, Terry.
And look, I want to give kudos to both teams and both student athletes on both sides. Anytime you find out on a Wednesday that you're preparing for another team and you're preparing for somebody else all week long, you're going to see different penalties and things like that nature because they're not used to each other. They didn't scout each other all week long.
Placing the ball to 47-yard line. First down and long.
So Calvary hit. We've had a half a dozen penalties already in this football game, as we're 7:05 into it. So now first down and about 21. Wardell back to the air, over the middle, complete. Colby Thomas taken down, 3 yards shy of the first down, as it was Bryson Robinson, who had a couple of pass breakups last week. A senior made the tackle.
Good job that time by Wardell. Send back, being patient. Anytime you play a zone defense, you have to be patient. Colby Thomas finds a window, settles, gets a completion, gets in the second and short position.
As you look at Colby Thomas, 4.4 speed, second team All-State receiver last year. He caught 70 passes. Second down and 3 now for the Cavaliers. Good. Wide open, down the middle of the field, Colby Thomas, touchdown. Wardell had great protection, and Thomas, coverage bust. Obviously, you can't let Calvary Baptist's best receiver get that wide open.
Right here, I don't know what happened on the back end with this Neville defense, but it's a miscommunication in the zone defense. Zone defense is all about communication. If you do not communicate, that's what happens. Touchdown, Calvary Baptist have an opportunity to tie this football game.
Ty Knight will try the extra point. 8 of 9 on extra point tries last week. Got a lot of practice with Calvary Baptist scoring 62 points against Oak Grove. So Calvary Baptist takes advantage of the turnover, and they get a touchdown out of it. Brent Bigelow is the holder and missed it wide right. So Neville still has a lead by a point. Well, tonight's game on the LHSAA network brought to you by Coca-Cola, Real Magic. And by MMR, building on a tradition of success. Also brought to you by Ochsner and the Ochsner and Andrews Sports Medicine Institute and the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. So Colby Thomas, who had 11 touchdown catches last year, he had 4 touchdown grabs last week. Caught 8 passes. You know, they have 2 big-time receivers that they have to replace from a season ago. John Simon IV, who's now at Louisiana Tech. He caught 51 passes a year ago, and then Aubrey Hermes, he caught 70 passes last year. So, as Rodney Guin has talked about, they got 170 catches that they got to replace from a season ago, but he thinks they got the receivers to do it, led by Colby Thomas, Caleb Tucker, and some other guys. Here's a squib kick, and it gets away from one of the Neville players, but jumping on it for the Tigers was Thomas Campbell.
Kickoff recovered by number 18, Thomas Campbell.
It's going to be interesting to see what this Neville offense does, how they respond. Obviously, they had a turnover the last possession. I know they want to make up for that mistake, especially Jalen Nichols, explosive running back. And Jeff, I know this game has had a lot of penalties, but using the game with a lot of penalties is kind of slow, methodic.
Yeah.
This has still been exciting, even with all these penalties.
Well, it's a fun matchup because of the contrast of styles, right? Where you have Calvary Baptist are going to throw the ball all over the place, and then the Neville Tigers are going to run it right at you. And so, which strength is going to win out here tonight? And you're going to need your defenses to come up with big plays. Calvary Baptist was able to do that with the forced fumble a moment ago. Now they've gone to Brock Jordan as the quarterback here, and they'll hand it off. And Mike Collins, the first-year head coach for the Neville Tigers, told me we're going to see Brock Jordan. Brock and Parker Robinson came into the season in a quarterback competition, but Brock got sick, and he missed like 2 weeks of camp. And so, obviously, because of that, Parker Robinson ended up getting the edge as the starter, but Jordan's a senior, Robinson's a sophomore, so they want to get Brock Jordan out there. Not much on that second down run. They'll bring up third down as Tardashi Lemons got to the line of scrimmage, but he's a guy that started really getting back into it right before the Jamboree. So we'll see how this works out. Third down and 4. Jalen Nichols back in at running back. kind of a bunch formation. Check to the sidelines. The wide receiver on the near side is Trenton Dumas, and the defender on him is Braylon Hughlin.
Looks like they give an easy throw for Brock Jordan, see if they can complete this first down.
Low snap, kind of ruins the timing of the play, but a hard run by Nichols as he's breaking tackles all the way to the 45-yard line. That's about as hard of a 12-yard run you're going to see all season.
So much for an easy run that I thought they were going to do. Jalen Nichols gets his first down on his own, gets a spin move, breaks a tackle, keeps his legs turning, gets upfield, runs over defender. Great physical run by Jalen Nichols.
There was a huge block on that play. I think it was by Mason Hart, who came out and cleared out a defensive. I believe that was David Weeks, who was coming in on the edge, and that's what opened up the run there for Nichols, who then did it all by himself after that. First down and 10, under 3 minutes to go in what has been a very interesting first quarter. And oh wow, getting whacked is Brock Jordan. Neville thought the play was dead. There was movement at the line of scrimmage. They stood around, and the Cavaliers, that's about as easy of a sack as David Weeks is going to get all year.
Absolutely, and sometimes when you have the two-quarterback system, you may have miscommunication like this, and this will happen right here. Neville thought the ball was snapped, and Calvary Baptist gets in the backfield and makes a sack.
Second down and 16. And from the backside, great play by Julius Moss. He made some great plays in the state championship game last year. He's already recovered a fumble tonight, and here he gets a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Great job by Julius Moss. They bring him off the edge. With the safety blitz, he gets in the backfield, makes a play. And for Calvary Baptist defense, this is what you want to do. You want to get Neville in a third long type of position and make them throw the football.
Well, big play coming up here for Brock Jordan on this 3rd and 16. Jordan feeling the pressure, steps up. Great pass over the middle, complete. But it's going to be shy of the first down. Thomas Campbell made the grab. That was nicely done by the senior tight end.
Good job by Brock Jordan, stepping him in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, finding Campbell on the end route, picks up almost a first down and gets them in a position where they can go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, they're going to go for it, 4th down and 3, as that was Luke Miller on the tackle. They'll run it with Nichols. Nichols able to get to the outside, stays on his feet into the Cavaliers secondary. Nobody can bring him down. He's trotting into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
Can I say ridiculous?
Oh. Hey, we've been talking about James Simon. I think we got to start talking about Jalen Nichols.
I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but he reminds me of Alvin Kamara.
Yes,
his running style.
Yes.
It's effortless. It's smooth. You don't think he's getting anywhere. You don't think he can break tackles. Outstanding player in Jalen Nichols.
4th down and 3. Mike Collins decides to go for it, and it results in a touchdown and quiets the Calvary Baptist fan base. Extra point try coming up for Brooks Yerger. And that is good. So Nichols, who was beat up last year, and Coach Mike Collins said he's looking more like how he played when he was a sophomore. For the first time ever, the LHSAA network brings you a 1-hour football highlight show that covers the entire state from Bossier to the Bayou. Friday night in the booth. We'll have it all, so make sure you watch every Friday night this fall at 11 o'clock, but not this Friday night. Because of the hurricane and everything being a little bit off kilter this week and games being pushed back, games being canceled. So no highlight show tonight, but we'll be back with you next week, week 3 of the season.
A great response by that Neville offense. And again, spirit by Jalen Nichols, picking up that first down with the tough running, and then bounces to the outside, breaks more tackles, gets elusive, and gets in the end zone. It's interesting to see how this Calvary Baptist offense responds.
14-6 is our score now. Yerger's got it teed up And a high end-over-end kick. Somebody, and it's off the return man's hands. And now he's in all kind of trouble, but trying to turn it upfield was Moss, and he can only get to the 10-yard line. Another good special teams play by Neville, who really played well last week in special teams against Evangel, and getting down there and making the tackle for the Tigers, Caden Rogers.
Every week, we always focus on offense and defense and the keys to the game, but we always leave out third part, special teams. It's very crucial. It's a critical part of the football game. Now, as you can see, Calvary Baptist has to drop the length of the field to see if they get some points on the board.
Especially early on in the season, Derry. You know this. You can't really practice special teams live. It takes a while for these special team units to get together and get on the same page and get into a rhythm. So early on, you see a lot of big special teams plays. We saw it last week in a game that me and you did, Derry, between Southside and Notre Dame. Run the screen. Making his way upfield, that is Caleb Tucker. And I think there's a flag, and there is in the Neville secondary. And then losing his helmet was Tucker, so he'll have to sit out at least one play.
This Calvary Baptist offense is trying to set up this Neville defense, a lot of screens, so look for them to go over the top pretty soon.
Long discussion, as it is a holding penalty on the Cavaliers.
And again, the penalties is kind of, putting them in a situation where it's making it tougher for them to drive the length of the field. It also kind of messes up the game plans and the play call and what they had on this drive. But they got to regroup, catch their composure, and come out on this next play and see if they can pick those yards back up.
So 2 penalties on Calvary Baptist. Legal man downfield and holding call. Right, I guess that's going to be on Cooper Thomas again. He's getting the start here for Hayden Darner. There you take a look at Mike Collins. He's been at Neville for 4 seasons. Just the amount of coaching and experience for this 63-year-old who graduated from Ruston, was named the head coach of Neville back in April, replacing Jeff Tannehill. He's coached pretty much at almost every in-state school, it seems like, right? At ULM a couple of times, McNeese a couple of times, Northwestern State. He was with you at LSU. Back in the glory years?
Yes, he was. Coach Collins, he recruited me going to LSU. I just missed him going to my freshman year because Coach Saban left to go to the Miami Dolphins a month before signing day. But I can remember Coach Collins being so intense. We had an LSU football camp one year. I was already committed to LSU, and those camps had so many kids. I tried to stay in the back of the line. Well, he didn't like that. He ripped me a new one, said some choice words. I'm not going to say it on air, but great guy, great coach, great competitor, and Neville has a wonderful and outstanding head football coach.
And he's coached in high school before. He was over in Texas coaching high school. He coached at Sam Houston State. Over 40 years of coaching experience. He's student taught as a coach when Charlie Brown was the head coach here, the legendary Charlie Brown for Neville. When he was coming out of college, and the 2020 season he sat out, and then that's when after that year Jeff Tannehill called him up and said, hey, I could use a defensive coordinator. What a big time hit there as Simon goes down. That's what you need to do there. Cameron Riley, the Raging Cajun and his future head coach, is here at the game, and he's got to like that.
Great job by Cameron Riley. Obviously trying to get James Simon in space. You usually like that matchup, but Cameron Riley comes downfield, very physical, and he gets a great tackle on a wonderful running back. It's not easy to tackle a running back in space. I don't want people at home to think that's an easy job. Great job by Cameron Riley.
And that's going to be our final play of the opening quarter. A fun first quarter from Shreveport on the LHSAA network. The Neville Tigers leading the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers. Terry Beckwith and myself, Jeff Palermo, will have second quarter action from Jerry Barker Stadium in Shreveport as the Neville Tigers, they got that running game going. Jalen Nichols, he is the real deal. More coming up on the LHSAA Network.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Let's take a look at our keys to the game. First of all, for Neville, they wanted to control the clock offensively. They're doing that, Derry.
I think they're doing a great job of controlling the clock offensively, keeping this Calvary Baptist offense on the field, and also limit Simon's big plays on offense. I think their defense has done a great job of doing that.
And they wanted to limit Simon. They've done that. Calvary Baptist, they don't want to miss any opportunities. They've had 2 drives in Neville territory that have come up with no points.
Coach Gwynn talked about it last week. Even though they put up 62 points, they had a lot of missed opportunities. He said they could have scored more, and also with the experience, a lot of returning starters on offense and defense. They didn't rely on that experience tonight, especially being down a touchdown.
Jeff Palermo, Derry Beckwith with you as we begin the second quarter from the campus of Calvary Baptist Academy in Shreveport, Jerry Barker Stadium, on a beautiful night for high school football. And they get the pass out on second down and long as it was completed to Caleb Tucker. First quarter for Wardell, 9 of 12 for 93 yards and a touchdown.
Wardell's done a good job of distributing the ball to different receivers. Obviously, he wants to continue to distribute the ball as well. Obviously got a touchdown in the first quarter to his receiver, Thomas. So continue to distribute the ball, stay patient, stay with your game plan, and see if you can get something on this drive.
Third down. Wardell stands in that pocket tall, and the ball is jarred loose. Another turnover. Knocking it away was Jaden Reed, and falling on top of it for the Neville Tigers, who are in great field position, Max Carter. But this would have been a first down, but unable to hang on to it was Caleb Tucker.
I want to see, did he ever have possession?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think they're trying to, Calvary Baptist saying he never had possession, so it should be an incomplete pass. I'm not sure how they're going to call this. We don't have instant replay in high school, but.
And they are going to say it's incomplete.
Even though it is an incomplete pass, Calvary Baptist has found something offensively. They're getting these in routes in his zone defense, has found the guys wide open. So look them on this next possession, or look for this next play to get back into the middle of the field.
Well, the Neville fan base, they do not agree with the call.
Wait, so they called it a catch.
Oh,
Wait.
They called it a catch, and then he was down. How about that? Okay. Even better. And Caleb Tucker gets a chance to redeem himself as he gets a first down across the 43-yard line. So that is a big change there. I can see why Neville fans are booing on that one. And Caleb Tucker, who had 4 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown last week, picks up the first down, and now we have a timeout here called by Calvary Baptist, the second one they've used in this first half.
And so it looks like Coach Collins is not too happy about that call that they just made.
Abram Wardell, we've talked a lot about him, a perfect 4.0 student. The numbers are just absolutely off the charts from a season ago. 3,800 yards he threw for a season ago, along with a 78% passing completion percentage. He is on the Warwick Dunn watch list, which goes to the best high school football player in the state of Louisiana, won by Tradez Green from Zachary a year ago. All-state selection. As he's looking, and again, the one number that really just, or the one statistic that just is like, oh my goodness, the 85 touchdowns and the 6 interceptions. But this is a guy that his arm strength is getting better. He knows the game very well. Right now, only getting offers from Division II schools. because he's 6 foot, 180 pounds.
And look, that's okay. Anytime a kid gets the opportunity to play on the next level, it doesn't matter if it's D1, D2, or D3. It's only a certain percentage that can do that. And so if you are playing at that level, you're in the elite company.
And he's a winner. 23-1 as a starter. Running off the left side, and not much happening there. Maybe a couple yards. Second down. Simon on the carry.
Wrapped up at the 47-yard line.
Had 15 plays of at least 10 yards or more last week. A 4-year starter. He's committed to Texas. They really rode him during the postseason last year. 800 yards in 3 games in the postseason. Tight coverage there on the near side, and it was knocked away. Good defensive play by Richard White.
Good job by Richard White. And obviously, you see Neville's game plan is to make sure that they eliminate these big plays by James Simon. But again, Richard White keeps his eyes on the receiver, breaks on the ball, makes a great play with that outside hand, not the inside hand, that you teach DBs all the time.
Third down and about 7 now. Braylon Hughlin, the wide receiver in the slot. He's in motion. Wardell surveying that Neville defense. He's got 10 seconds on the play clock. Neville brings a blitz. Wardell feels it, gets out of the pocket, and he'll take off. There goes Wardell, out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That's what senior quarterbacks do, Barry.
Absolutely, great job of seeing the blitz. One of the few blitzes that Neville has brought all night. Wardell did a great job right here, filling the inside blitz for both inside linebackers. They bring him to the A-gap. He feels it, bounces out the outside, picks up the first down, and keeps his drive moving.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line now for Calvary Baptist. Down by 8. There goes Simon. Simon gets all the way to the 31-yard line. Brody Watley, one of the defenders there for Neville. Coach Mike Collins calls this a very unselfish group. We're talking about his Neville Tigers team. Bunch of workhorses on this team. He said over half the team during the offseason did not miss a summer workout. That's very good dedication. And again, Neville trying to get back to state championship game. It's been since 2016 for them. In the last couple of years, they've only won 8 games. And I say only, that's because for Neville, they expect to get into the double digits. They got to the semifinals in 2021 and 2020 and in 2019. Simon on the carry. Good job by that offensive line. Good push there. And that should be enough for a first down to the 25. I asked Coach Rodney Ewan, who does James Simon kind of remind you of? And I thought, when I was watching him in the state championship game last year, I was like, man, he kind of reminds me of somebody because of his upright running style. And when he said it, I said, yeah, that's it, Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson was a big-time, obviously a big-time back, but would run upright. Now they bring in the change of pace here in Julius Moss. Moss gets upended inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. And Moss, they like to use him. Last year he only rushed for over 200 yards, but he's a good guy to kind of spell James Simon when he needs a break. And you see Moss picks up the first down.
Great job of Julian Moss of pressing the gap, bouncing to the outside, using great vision, and picking up another first down for Calvary Baptist.
At the 14-yard line here for Wardell. They'll check to the sidelines with Simon in the backfield on the left hip of Wardell. First and 10. And trying to find some running room off to the right side, and then he'll be dragged down.
Number 31, James Simon.
And on the stop there, Connor Vincent, who has been a big-time playmaker for Neville defensively with the 5 tackles last week.
Calvary Baptist now in the red zone, but this is 4-down territory. If they don't make it, I don't see them selling for a field goal. I believe this is 4-down territory for Calvary Baptist.
Second down and 8. In a game like tonight, I think you need touchdowns. You can't really be settling for field goals unless it's at the end of the half situation or something like that. 3 seconds on the play clock. Wardell recognizes it, gets the snap. Pressure coming immediately, and he's got to get rid of it. There he is again, that man, Jason Parker. You know, Neville has produced some unbelievable defensive linemen. Of course, one guy that comes up right off the mat when you think about it is Rashard Lawrence, who's now over at Arizona. Justin Ellis, another defensive lineman. Ferdinand Mathis, another guy on that defensive line. I was watching Lee Burkeen's Louisiana Football Magazine podcast, and he said Neville should be referred to as D-line U, and he's right. To the end zone, touchdown! There's Braylon Huglin. I mentioned it earlier, this kid started as a quarterback as a freshman last year in the state title game. He's going to be a big-time two-way player here at Calvary Baptist.
Great job by Wardell. Great corner route by Braylon Huglin. Fouling the spot, getting the end zone, touchdown, Calvary Baptist.
Now they'll go for two to try to tie the football game up. But I think this Huglin kid is going to be something special. Lined up in the slot there, Darian. Wardell was watching him the whole way. Great route.
Absolutely did a great job. Stuck his foot in the ground, baited the DB inside, broke outside for their corner route. Touchdown, Calvary Baptist.
All right, a little trickery here. They flip it over to Huglin, who's going to run around the right end and into the end zone, and we got a tie ball game, but there is a flag. Well, on a play like that, sometimes you get a flag. There was a lot of stuff happening on that play. I'll say that much.
A lot of stuff. Anytime you spread it like that, you can get a flag with illegal shift. You have to report to the officials as well. Make sure that you line up line of scrimmage. So I think they're going to settle for this extra point.
What a huge drive there for Calvary Baptist, 91 yards. And how about the ball control? 5 minutes and 22 seconds on that drive for Calvary Baptist.
And he's just the opposite. You want Neville to have ball control.
Yep.
Calvary Baptist is really explosive. Obviously, his Neville defense is really good, so I think they're taking the time and they're taking what his Neville defense is giving them.
Ty Knight on the extra point try. He just missed wide right. Now he's 5 yards back. Neville was coming after it, and he misses another one. And Calvary Baptist, they're going to be chasing those points all night long. Hey, next week we'll be back on a Thursday night with our LHSAA Network Game of the Week. And it'll be in Gonzales as John F. Kennedy, an emerging program in New Orleans, will be taking on the Santa Maria Gators in a non-district matchup. And we'll have it for you Thursday at 7 o'clock in Ascension Parish. And nothing like watching a football game in the pit at Santa Maria High School, and nothing like a Friday night at Jerry Barker Stadium here in Shreveport in that student section from Calvary Baptist. This is a program that has gotten used to winning state championships. 1-1 finally for Rodney Guin in the Dome. They had won in 2020. Of course, the state championship games that year were played in Natchitoches at Northwestern State. But this Calvary Baptist program really started to come on strong in the, I don't know how you refer to that decade of 2010 to 2011, whatever it was, but they won 2 state championships in 2013 and 14. And now here they are, once again, not only the top team in Class 2A, but some people think this is the best team in the state of Louisiana, this Calvary Baptist squad.
They are a well-run organization, well-run program. They're very disciplined, and they run their assignment to a T, defensively and offensively. So great job by the coaching staff. And Calvary Baptist is a team to be reckoned with in the near future.
Knight with that squib kick, going to be handled at the 29-yard line. Uh-oh, big return here. And the ball comes out, and it looks like the Cavaliers got it. And they do. Turnover, another one here tonight. Coming up with the loose football, that's David Weeks.
Hands up, number 35, David Weeks.
Well, Coach Guin said that this young man, David Weeks, has been playing really well for him. And that ball was just popped out of there, getting in there and knocking it out. Was that Ty Knight, the kicker, that knocked it out? Sure looked like it. I thought I saw number 11 kind of poke his arm in there to knock it away from the return man.
where he made up for the 2 missed extra points, but also for Neville. I think Coach Collins would tell Campbell next time, maybe this take a knee. It's not. I know he's trying to make a play, but he's not used to handling the football.
Let's see. Look at the kicker. How about that? He did knock it out. His helmet is almost coming off, but it don't matter. You know who else is going to tell Thomas Campbell to take a knee? His older brother. I know he's watching the game, and he said, "Oh, look at this, a double pass, and it's wide open." Falling to the ground is Caleb Tucker to catch it, but a little razzle-dazzle for the Cavaliers as Colby Thomas heaves it downfield.
Great play call on the first play by Calvary Baptist. Colby Thompson gets it down the field. He probably wish he would have let him a little bit longer. There was a walk-in touchdown by Caleb Tucker, but great play call by this Calvary Baptist offensive coordinator.
It's enough yards for Cavaliers. First down.
So the Cavaliers now in position to take their first lead of the night. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. It seems like it's been forever that Neville has had the ball. Remember, that was just a 5-minute drive, and now their defense is back on the field on a warm night. Simon bouncing it to the outside. A little juke move gets him all the way to the 11, 12-yard line.
James Simon. Tackle made by number 42, Reese Whitehart.
Reese Whitehart on the stop there for the Tigers. No Juju Burns tonight here for the Neville Tigers. That's a big loss for them. One of their top defensive backs who's getting offers from Arkansas, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. But he's got an ankle injury, and he is not dressed out tonight. So Neville playing without one of their best defensive players. And now we have the hydration timeout.
And
we'll take a break. Calvary Baptist on the move here. We'll be back. Jeff Palermo and Derry Beckwith with you from Calvary Baptist in Shreveport. And the Cavaliers down by 2, but in the red zone. And that pass is caught. Very good defense there from Robert Graves, right on the receiver, right. That was Bigelow, but Robert Graves, first time that we've mentioned his name, number 3 for Neville. He plays the Buck safety position. Mike Collins says he's the best football player on the team. He's only 5'8", 140 pounds, though, number 3 for the Neville Tigers.
We talked about the reason the guy is so effective, Robert Graves, is because he watched a lot of film.
Yeah.
And you don't get that from a lot of high school guys that break down film. He says he's the first guy in, first guy out every single week, and that's why his production is so great on the field.
Had 11 tackles last week in the win over Evangel, as it's 3rd down and 2. Simon trying to get to the outside, sheds one defender, and coming up and making the stick is Robert Graves. Hello.
Great job by Robert Graves. Out of James Simon bounces it outside. Robert Graves' technique attacks the outside shoulder, turns everything on the inside. That's a textbook tackle by Robert Graves.
So what was 3rd down and short, Derry, now 4th down and 7 here for the Cavaliers. Again, they've had 2 drives tonight, stall in Neville territory.
Calvary Baptist has had success attacking the middle of the field. Juju Burns, like you said, is hurt. He's not in there. Let's see if they attack the middle of the field right here.
And they may just call a timeout here. There's 3 seconds on the play clock, and then talk about what they want to do. And that's exactly what happens. I believe that's their final timeout that they have taken. So they're out of timeouts here in this first half. teams playing a big-time matchup here, and both of these teams play very difficult schedules. For Calvary Baptist, they'll be on the road next week to take on Franklin Parish. Starbone Woods the following week. Circle that October 18th matchup against Union Parish. That should be a fun one.
Absolutely. Union Parish obviously finally got their state championship last year after four tries. So that's going to be a great matchup. That's going to be a battle, one of the best teams in the 318 area. So I'm looking forward to that matchup.
And Homer is always a really good football team. They were in the state championship game a couple of years ago as well. So 4th down and 7.
See if they attack the middle of the field.
Pressure coming on Wardell. Shuffles to his left, back in the end zone. Did he hang on to it? Looking for a call, and that is going to be a touchdown for Calvary Baptist. In the back of the end zone, Caleb Tucker. Are they still talking about it? No, I think that is a touchdown. Wow, what a play.
Great job by Wardell, sliding in the pocket, keeps his shoulder squared, found Caleb Parker in the back of the end zone. Great strong hands. Yes, he got his foot down.
Yep, great job.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable play on 4th down. Both teams now have scored on 4th down. Remember, Neville had the long touchdown run, and now Calvary Baptist, to take the lead, executes on 4th down. Now they're going to keep the offense on the field and try to go for 2.
It's always fun as a quarterback. We have all this breaks down. You have a receiver that you can throw it up to and go get it. Caleb Parker is their receiver.
Yeah.
Great looking prospect.
Yeah, he is 6'3", 180 pounds. He's a commitment to Texas Southern. He's actually a transfer from Huntington. He's always lived in the district. He played at the middle school here at Calvary Baptist, was at Huntington, comes over here to Calvary Baptist and has a chance to put together a really big season catching passes from Wardell. Wardell, the only man in the backfield here. Pressure immediately. Gets rid of it, and did he hang on to it? No, he did not. Colby Thomas could not reel that one in. And again, Calvary Baptist so far has failed to execute, whether it's a point after or a 2-point conversion. But what a throw by Wardell.
And what a catch. Gets the feet down, nice strong hands, holds on to the ball. Great job.
As Tucker had a touchdown catch last week. There you take a look at Rodney Guin. 8th season here as the head coach. Of course, the longtime head coach for Houghton. Coached Dak Prescott. And he is the winningest active coach in Shreveport. Got hired here in 2017, his 42nd year as a coach. Not only has he led this Cavaliers team on a 15-game winning streak, they've won 17 straight here at home. He's been able to rebuild this offense despite losing some big-time receivers and 3 starters on that offensive line. Right, and that time, there you go. Thomas Campbell just kneels it. He probably got a text from Will Campbell said, listen, little bro, don't be running out. You're not a receiver. He plays tight end, but he's not a returner.
Absolutely. Look, you always have those, basketball players want to be football players, football players want to be basketball players, tight ends want to be running backs. So great decision that time, get down on the ground.
So Neville's offense, this is their first time that they've been on the field in the second quarter. I mean, Calvary Baptist had that long drive, then the turnover when Campbell fumbled it on the kickoff return, and then another fairly lengthy drive for Calvary Baptist. Got a score from South Louisiana. Catholic High leading St. Thomas More 6-0. Another battle of 2 teams that won a state championship a year ago. We had it last week when Calvary Baptist played Oak Grove, and then we got it in South Louisiana tonight. Trying to run away from everyone was Caleb Vaughn. Good pursuit by the Calvary Baptist defense. As Caleb Vaughn is one of the fastest guys in the state, and he's got great hands as well. Had a couple catches last week for 30 yards. Blazing speed in the 100 and 200. Collins says he's the fastest guy in North Louisiana. Running off the left side is Parker Robinson. Robinson is a basketball player, ran it 5 times for 19 yards last week in the win against Evangel. Steven Ensminger, who was at West Monroe, of course the son of former LSU offensive coordinator Steve Ensminger, and the quarterback for the LSU Tigers back in the day. Steven Ensminger Jr. is the quarterback's coach here at Neville and has really developed Parker Robinson, got him ready to play here as a sophomore. 3:10 and counting till the halftime. And now Lemons. Man, he is a bolt of energy coming out of that backfield.
Anytime you can get the backup running back come in and give you positive yards, it's always great. Obviously, he's patient, presses the hole, exposed upfield, shoestring tackle away from taking it for a 6.
41-yard line.
Very reminiscent of Cavante Turpin, who now plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Smallish guy, but we saw Turpin excel at TCU. And Lemons, he's a guy that looks like he can kind of fill that same kind of role as he gets another carry off the left side. As Tardasci Lemons, hard to catch, just finds a way to get yards for you despite his size.
Hard to catch and hard to see as a defender. He hides behind the offensive lineman, does a great job.
2nd down and 3, Lemons another run, and Lemons running it right down the throat here of Calvary Baptist's defense to the 41-yard line. Calvary Baptist gets a bigger defensive lineman out there. They get Zamarian Baker in there. They need a run stuffer here. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, now they might have to fix it as Nate Young, a 2-year starter who had 44 tackles, comes in and makes a hit. There you take a look at Baker. He's going to take up space, and he takes up a double team. And that might have loosened it up there for Nate Young to come in and make the tackle. Stoppage in play with 2:09 to go in the first half. The high school spotlight is in its 2nd season and airs live on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. on the LHSAA Network Live channel. High school spotlight features all the top stories in high school athletics from around the state and all of sports. And for those that are joining us here tonight on the LHSAA Network, maybe you're finding us for the first time because you're watching on YouTube, or maybe catching us on your view on Cox Cable Channel 4 in South Louisiana. If you haven't already done so, you can download the LHSAA Network app. The app is available on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV devices. The app is free to view and includes the live LHSAA Network channel. Cover all the state championships. And if you're a high school fanatic, this is an app that you have to have. Spent a lot of my summer watching old championship games on the LHSAA Network. 2nd down and 9. Didn't catch yours, Derry. That's black and white, I think. Just joking. Right off
It was definitely archaic. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have apps back then. We had VHS. So if you didn't have a VHS, you're not gonna be able to catch it.
Yeah, the VHS tape got chewed up by something. 3rd down and 7. Running up the middle, only a couple of yards. Of course, Derry Beckwith played at Parkview Baptist for the legendary coach Kenny Guiot, who passed away a few years back, a couple of years ago, really. 4th down here and 1 for the Neville Tigers. They're going to run it. And Lemons, what an open field tackle. Did he stop him shy of the 1st down? That was Luke Miller flying in there. And I think he has stopped short of the 1st down. How did he do this, Derry?
Great job by Luke Miller coming upfield, making a tackle, getting him down. And obviously he went from inside out.
Oh, they're saying a 1st down.
They gave him a 1st down.
Wow. So the drive continues for the Neville Tigers.
Regardless of the 1st down, great play by Luke Miller. Outstanding tackle against an elusive offensive player.
Younger brother of Cole Miller, the leading tackler on this Cavaliers defense. Now to the end zone. And incomplete as it was over the head of Dumas. As Robinson really didn't give him an opportunity to catch the football. But I like that shot there after you get a 1st down. Maybe Calvary Baptist not focusing as they were trying to beat Trey McDaniel, who had good coverage there. A freshman in that defensive secondary for the Cavaliers. 2nd down and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Talk about Caleb Fond being the fastest man in the state. Right now they have him in the slot. Let's see if they can get him in a one-on-one matchup. We're going to have one high safety, see if they can get him in the middle of the field.
Movement at the line of scrimmage, and we have a flag. And another 5-yard penalty going to be called here on Calvary Baptist. So 2nd down and 5. So this is Lemons' drive. We've seen a lot of Jalen Nichols, but right now Lemons has been the primary ball carrier on this drive. It's Neville looking to try to take the lead before we go into the locker room for halftime. This game has lived up to its hype so far. Quick pass over the middle, good hands, breaking free. Caleb Vaughn to the end zone, touchdown Tigers.
Well, Jeff, we just talked about it. We had Caleb Vaughn in the slot, fastest guy in the state. Let's see if they get him over the middle and get the ball in his hand and create a matchup problem, which they did. Right here, Caleb Vaughn in the slot, runs a quick slant route, gets the ball in his hands, and once he gets to the field, gets to the second level, he's hard to catch. Great catch and score by Neville.
Great throw by Parker Robinson, right? Put it right on the money. And Caleb Vaughn turns on the Jets. Now the extra point try to give Neville a 3-point lead. And there you take a look at Caleb Vaughn. Pretty impressive stuff right there.
Absolutely. Gets over the middle, wide open, gets upfield, keeps his legs turning, and gets in the end zone. I expect in the second half, the fastest guy in the state, and probably one of the fastest guys they ever seen, to give him the ball more going to the second half.
So coming up at halftime, we'll look ahead to next week's game. We'll also give you the LHSAA spotlight. We'll show you some highlights from last week's action in high school football. And again, this crowd, they have been into it. They were expecting to welcome the Westgate Tigers to Calvary Baptist, who Westgate's a really good team too, but there's something about Neville, right? I mean, it's one of the most prestigious high school football programs, and this is, I don't know if these two teams will ever meet again. You know, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and unfortunate, we had a hurricane here, and for those that have had their lives disrupted, our thoughts and prayers are with you. But seeing this game here tonight, this is what high school football in the state of Louisiana is all about.
Absolutely, and one of the fans told me I need to try the fried catfish at halftime.
I tell you, the concession stand here is it is next level at Calvary Baptist. And we got to also thank the Calvary Baptist administration for allowing us to come and do this game at the last minute. The plan was to do St. Louis Catholic and Bunkie on Thursday night. Of course, that game got pushed back, and unfortunate, unable to carry that game. But hey, this one's pretty good here. And you know, a lot of people were saying, "Hey, Coach, talking about Rondi Gulen, and what are you doing here trying to play Neville? You're a 2A school," but he wants to be challenged. They beat 5A schools last year, so they're not afraid. They know they're going to make the playoffs, so why not? Here's Simon. Simon can break it across the 30. Good open field tackle, and get driven down to the ground. Now, they don't have any more timeouts. Remember, they've used all their timeouts. Max Carter on the tackle. First down, so the clock stops with 51 seconds.
First down.
But they got to hurry.
Let's see if they try to take a deep shot, maybe get a pass interference, and possibly get into scoring territory.
Now, they're not really rushing at all. I think Coach Gulen, the last thing he wants to do here is have a turnover, give Neville a little momentum. At the 32-yard line, Simon on the carry. Good job coming off the edge and slowing him down just a little bit was a Neville defender who was able to just kind of trip him up. I think that was Jaden Reed. And a fun 24 minutes here at Jerry Barker Stadium on the campus of Calvary Baptist High School. James Simon and the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers They trail it by 3. Abram Wardell throwing touchdown passes like he normally does. A couple of them here in this first half. But Jalen Nichols, very good for the Neville Tigers. We'll be back after this.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Great first half here at Calvary Baptist High School as Neville leading the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers 21-18. What a way to start off week 2. Let's look back at some of the exciting action from around the state from the season opening weekend of high school football in the boot.
Welcome back into the high school spotlight. The LHSAA Cross Country Championships are truly a test of endurance for our student athletes. Each November in Natchitoches, the best runners in Louisiana converge on Northwestern State's campus. Aiden Monaster is a senior at Parkview Baptist and the reigning champion in Division III. Monaster crossed the finish line 12 seconds ahead of his next competitor and helped lead Parkview to their 3rd consecutive state title. Our Spencer Verrett filed this report.
The Eagles have brought home the last 3 state championships on the boys' side. Senior Aiden Monaster has been a part of all 3 teams and is ready for more in 2024.
It's been great. I guess we kind of stepped up training a lot. Our team has grown tremendously, especially on the girls' side, and we're building up our boys' side to see what we can do at state and try to four-peat maybe. It's been great training with everyone, having some extra people to train with, especially after last track season, me kind of being on my own with injury and getting through it, trying to get to the national level. But I think it's been pretty great this summer to step up our training.
Normally, playing in the Superdome is a privilege reserved for those who have made the Prep Classic. But Rummel and Lafayette Christian moved their game due to bad weather. Raiders back Norman Taylor, a 6-foot, 185-pound senior, gets Rummel on the board in what will be a very high-scoring game. Sophomore back Corian Hawkins puts on a nice display of speed and power in Caesars Superdome, getting the Raiders back into the end zone. LCA is looking to replace Gatorade Player of the Year Jawan Johnson at quarterback, and it looks like Braylon Walker is the man for the job. Walker stays patient and finds Braden Allen for the 22-yard pickup on 2nd down, putting the Knights late in position to score. Walker at QB is a 5'11", 160-pound junior. And on this play, after rolling out to his left, Braylon will go airborne at the goal line for the touchdown. Rummel ends up winning the game in the Dome by a score of 42-35.
And we're joined by the head coach for Dominican Volleyball now, Jessica Chatelier. Coach, thanks for taking the time. Just give us an idea of how the season has started in 24.
It's been a great start to the year. We played 2 matches last week to start off our regular season, and returning to our starting lineup, we have our starting middle from last year, Zoe Mitchell, who has been a great leader for us physically on the court. Our defense is pretty solid from last year. We return our libero. She's been our starting libero for the past 2 years. Lauren Pipitone. She was also named best player in the state of Louisiana for the preseason for Max Preps. We took a hit as far as people that had been in our lineup for the past 2 years, but you know, these girls have stepped in and have waited their turn to get out on the court, and they're really taking advantage of it.
No one ever thinks they'll be in this position. Buying medication online could put you here, or here, or here. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl kills. It's 50 times stronger than heroin. Medical professionals can't even tell the difference between a real pill and one that is fake. At least not until they do your autopsy. Don't take anything online that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
Tonight's game on the LHSAA network brought to you by Coca-Cola Real Magic, and also brought to you by MMR, building on a tradition of success. Ochsner and the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute and the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. We're at halftime at Jerry Barker Stadium on the campus of Calvary Baptist Academy. And the Cavaliers, the defending champs in Division III Select, trailing the Neville Tigers, a 5A school, 21-18 at halftime. Jeff Lerma along with Derry Beckwith. Coming up tomorrow on the Yearview Game Time Game of the Week. You want to talk about state championships? Well, you're going to have a matchup tomorrow in Lafayette. This game pushed back one day. Acadiana, led by their quarterback Colin DeBetta, will be taking on the Zachary Broncos. And so Matt McCullough's team and David Brewerton's team for Zachary, two powers along I-10 in South Louisiana, will get to meet up in week 2. This should be a fantastic game. on YearView. If you're obviously not in the YearView area or don't have Cox Cable, you can watch it at yearview.watch.com, yearview.watch.com. And then the Zachary Broncos, they lost to Ruston last year in the state championship game. They've won 4 state championships. They will be very good once again this season, even though they don't have the likes of Trades Green. They always seem to have terrific wide receivers. I mean, of course, Chris Hilton, who's now with the LSU Tigers, but they always, whether it's going even back to their Chandler Whitfields and them, and then the big defensive line and great defense. That should be a fun game. David Brewerton has built an absolute power involving the Zachary Broncos. And then the LHSAA network game of the week coming up on Thursday from the pit in Gonzales. John F. Kennedy taking on the Santa Maria Gators, and you can watch it here on the LHSAA network, and it will be streamed on YouTube on Thursday at 7 p.m. At halftime, Neville leading Calvary Baptist 21-18. We'll take another break. More coming up after this.
Love did this. This is love's fault. And it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play. At halftime, as the two teams have returned to the field, with Neville leading Calvary Baptist. For the first time ever, the LHSAA network brings you a 1-hour football highlight show that covers the entire state from Bossier to the Bayou. Friday night in the boot, we'll have it all. So make sure you watch every Friday night this fall starting at 11 p.m., but not tonight, unfortunately, because of the disruption of Hurricane Francine. Just couldn't get it together this week with all the schedules getting scrambled. We'll take a look at first half highlights and stats when we come back. Neville up by a field goal over Calvary Baptist.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
At halftime, Neville leading Calvary Baptist 21-18 at Jerry Barker Stadium on the campus of Calvary Baptist Academy. Jeff Palermo along with Derry Beckwith. Entertaining first half, Derry. We thought this would be a absolute heavyweight bout, and so far it has been.
Work tonight for both teams. Obviously, Calvary Baptist coming out with a coastal offense. Neville, a running game that's really got it going. Both teams are evenly matched. Both teams have been well coached the first half. Whoever made the adjustment in the second half is going to come out victorious tonight.
We've seen it all in this first half. Big plays, turnovers. Neville got the ground game going quickly with Jalen Nichols. He gets in for the first time tonight, but the first of 3 touchdown passes from Abram Wardell, wide open to Colby Thomas. They missed the extra point, 7-6. This is 4th down and 3. Jalen Nichols running through this Calvary Baptist defense, and he gets into the end zone and nearly losing his breath, 14-6. But here comes Calvary Baptist once again. Abram Wardell connecting with Braylon Huglin for a touchdown pass. Little trickery in September. Colby Thomas throwing one down deep on the double pass to Caleb Tucker. Abram Wardell scrambling, moving on 4th down, back in the end zone, touchdown Caleb Tucker. But coming right back, the speedster Caleb Vaughn gets the catch and is into the end zone. And what a first half it was. Here's a look at the halftime stats. Calvary Baptist, 15 first downs in this football game. They dominated the time of possession in the second quarter, but the turnover statistic, Neville has had 2, but yet they lead it by 3.
And obviously, identity of the team. Calvary Baptist wants 95 passing yards. Neville, 183 rushing yards. So the identity of these teams, they're sticking with it. Again, who can make the adjustments in the second half?
Yeah, we'll see how this one shapes up between these two teams as these fans had a chance to catch their breath. How about I talk right? As they had a chance to catch their breath.
You ate too much catfish at halftime, Jeff.
Was that what it was? I think you're right. I think you're right.
Too much catfish.
Yeah, but this has been a fun game here tonight for Calvary Baptist, and Abram Wardell able to put on a show here tonight. Now 88 touchdown passes in his terrific high school football career. Ty Knights will have it teed up, and Neville will get the ball. We've seen the squib kick to Thomas Campbell. We'll see if they'll continue to do that here. And again, another squib kick, and it will be taken by Thomas Campbell. Campbell puts his head down and leans forward to the 33-yard line. Tonight's game presented by MMR, built from values, distinguished by tradition. One of our proud sponsors here on the LHSAA network. Glad he could join us. Jeff Palermo, Derry Beckwith, Jason Pugh is our statistician. Kim Giat, our director, Jeff Schneider, our producer, and our great crew here in Shreveport. Our first live broadcast from the 318 on the LHSAA network, and we are so glad to be here Looking forward to a terrific second half. Parker Robinson back in at quarterback. We've seen a little bit of Brock Jordan as well. And Jalen Nichols is in there at running back as well. Caleb Vaughn is in the slot. And play action fake. And did he catch? No, he did not catch that, did he? Looking for somebody to say something.
15, Parker Robinson.
And they're going to say that's a catch. Much to the dismay of the Calvary Baptist fan base, but Trenton Dumas caught this.
35-yard line.
That's a definition of a wounded duck, and I think that bounced in there.
That definitely bounced off the turf.
Boy, the officials just never saw it. They were all looking at each other. What did you see? And they went ahead and gave him a catch. And Nichols again breaking tackles, and he loses the ball again. Who's got it? Are they saying he's down? They are saying he's down. We got to look at this one again. The Cavaliers think they got the ball, but they don't. The offense for Neville is staying out there. The official, first down Neville. Wow, couple of tough breaks here going against Calvary Baptist as Neville's offense is still out there. First and 10 from the 44. Nichols holding on to that ball a little tighter this time. Fighting for every yard as he gets 8 yards. Let's look at this again.
Let's take a look. He's running.
I mean, that's clearly out. My goodness, 2 calls that just completely went against Calvary Baptist to begin the second half.
Maybe the referee had too much caffeine at halftime, because how in the heck do you miss that call?
I mean, that wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close. The guy was standing upright. The ball is clearly out. He was nowhere near the ground when the ball came out. I don't know how you missed that call.
And I saw the official on the far sideline immediately say, no, he was down. He was down. And boy, tough break there for Calvary Baptist, already down by 3. And now we also have an injured Cavalier down on the field. The training staff taking a look at him as Jalen Nichols, talking to Coach Mike Campbell about him, or Mike Collins, I should say, excuse me. He's got it all. Speed and power as they continue to tend to the injured Cavalier. Be sure to download the LHSAA Live mobile app to stay up to date with scores, schedules, news, and more. The LHSAA Live mobile app is your trusted source for all things LHSAA, available in the Apple App Store and Android app on Google Play. Nichols 10 carries for 110 yards. And this is not a good sign here for Calvary Baptist, one of their top defensive linemen, a big-time player who's committed to Harding, Ethan Sands, unable to put any weight on that right leg as he needs the training staff to help him to the sidelines. This is a guy that had 17 tackles for a loss last season, had 2 to begin the season in the win over Oak Grove in the season opener. He had 2 tackles for a loss in that game. He had the fumble that was just overturned. Calvary Baptist, they returned their entire starting defensive line from last year's championship team. So now that takes a bit of a hit with Sands on the sidelines. Whistles before the snap and a flag. Delay game going to be called.
Those 2 missed calls are, you cannot do that. I mean,
timeout on Neville. Go ahead, Derek.
Those 2 missed calls, you can't do that. That can cost the game. And obviously, I know in high school you don't have instant replay, but you can't go back and look at that. But at some point, I think high schools across the state, they have to look at that instant replay to make sure this gets corrected.
Of course, they got it in the state championship game, and I'm sure Mike Collins is probably asking him, what did you see on those 2 calls? Because I need an explanation. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Neville Tigers. Are going to make a trip over to Mississippi next week, or actually they're going to be hosting Holmes County. And then how about that matchup on September 27th, taking on St. Thomas More, facing a very good Sterlington team October 4th, and then October 18th at Ruston, which will be a huge matchup in Northeast Louisiana. Ruston, of course, the defending champs in Division I non-select. Neville, based on the new configuration and how they determine divisions and classes, Neville was always a 4A school. Now they're playing at the highest classification. 2nd down and 1. Robinson will hand it. Nope, play action fake. Lofts one over to the near side, juggling it, and then Caleb Vaughn does bring it in. Hit immediately by Trey McDaniel as Caleb Vaughn makes the grab, and that's another 1st down for the Tigers.
Obviously, Caleb Vaughn had a touchdown in the first half. Fastest guy in the state. Look for them to get him the ball in the second half. Now on this drive, I'm seeing Neville trying to open the passing game a little bit more. They came out throwing the ball, so let's see if they can get a balanced attack that gets to Jalen Nichols right here.
Nichols a few yards there, and a host of Cavaliers bring him down as they all fly to the football. Led by Titus Stringer, a 3-year starter. Number 3 there for Calvary Baptist. 43 tackles last year, had 8 tackles last week. 2nd down and a 7 here coming up for Neville. Play action fake, and that pass is incomplete. Pressure from the backside being applied by David Weeks. There is a flag on the near side. We'll see what this is all about. They tried to get the ball to Dumas. The officials have received a lot of TV time here tonight.
Number 73, White.
That's Van Martinez, who is a very good prospect on that right tackle. Number 73 is who they called it on. Van, you're looking at Nick Ochoa, but 73 was the one on the bottom of your screen here. That's just kind of hugging it. It's like a wrestling match over there on the right side of the line.
It's like he got put in an awkward position. The guy head was already down. At that point, you could probably take your hands off of him.
So this is going to push Neville back to the 29-yard line. Calvary Baptist's defense has got to make a stand here. You got them in 3rd down and long. You got to figure out a way to get off the field or make a stop, force them potentially to kick a field goal. Nichols now on the left hip of Parker Robinson. 3 wide receivers. Parker Robinson steps up, pressure coming. They're going to get to him. Ball comes out. Campbell's got it. Campbell around the left end. Campbell inside the 20 gets hammered down at the 18. What was going to be a huge loss. Another break for the Neville Tigers as Thomas Campbell, Johnny on the spot, picks it up and then rumbles for about 15 yards.
Great job by this Calvary Baptist defense getting pressure, but Campbell right there on the spot. Look, Campbell, my apologies. I talked about you earlier, but you picked up the football, getting it downfield, and picked up positive yards.
And then he's the one delivering blows down the field. Hughlin took the receiving end of that. But that was Caden Marcray who knocked the ball out. It's going to be 4th down and 7, but instead of 4th down and forever, and now they're going to have to call timeout, Will Neville. But that was a crazy play there.
It was. We always talk about never give up on a play. A play is never dead. And that time Campbell saw it. Thomas Campbell knew the play wasn't dead, picked up the ball, made a heads-up play.
But a good job by the Calvary Baptist defense. I think they only rushed 4 guys on that play, and they still were able to get a couple of guys at Parker Robinson, the Neville quarterback.
Anytime that you can apply pressure with 3 or 4 guys, you're always going to win. And that time it was 3rd and long, and so they dropped 8, only rushed 3. So good job by the Calvary Baptist defense, but obviously Thomas Campbell was around the spot.
How crazy has this drive been for Neville? An incomplete pass that was caught a catch. They fumbled, but they said the runner was down when he wasn't. Now you get this play, and here they are, 4th down inside the Calvary Baptist 20-yard line.
It almost feel like the ball is literally bouncing Neville's way on this drive and on this half.
It's up to Calvary Baptist's defense to come up with some sort of a stop right now. A couple of the big-time defenders that this Cavaliers defense is missing from last year's championship game. Hutch Grace. Here's a look back at that fumble that was not called a fumble. Nichols is clearly standing up. The ball is knocked out of his hands by Stringer. And the possession continues, though, for Neville.
Again, I don't know how you missed that. Obviously, the guy standing straight up. That's a call that you cannot miss.
Nichols had 11 touchdowns last fall. He's had 2 touchdowns here tonight. Now they're saying this is 3rd down. Okay. So it's not 4th down. Now, Coach Guin is saying, how the heck is this 3rd down? Wow, this has been a bizarre drive, and we don't even have a full moon here tonight, Derek.
Jeff, I'm confused. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am confused. I don't understand why it's 3rd down.
Well, Coach Collins continues to see things go his way on this drive. I think eventually we're going to play football here, Derry. But Coach Guin still wants an explanation on how the heck it's 3rd down. Meanwhile, Coach Collins is like, hey, things are going well here.
Something eerily similar happened a few years ago when LSU played A&M in that when they had like 8 overtimes.
Right, yeah.
And they gave A&M an extra down. It's supposed to be 4th down. They gave them a 3rd down. I don't understand. Maybe this is the same type of situation. But I'm not the one to explain it because I have no idea.
Well, now they're going to go talk to Coach Collins. Now, I don't know if Coach Collins is liking what he's hearing here. Are they going to go? Are we going back to, what are we doing here? So it's back to 4th down. All right.
All right.
That's what I thought. All right. 4th down and 7. Big play coming up in this one early in the 3rd quarter with the Tigers up by 3. Robinson rolling to his left, man wide open, 1st down inside the 5-yard line as they got the ball to Zealand Young, a kid that missed a spring with a back injury, had a really good summer, and he has really developed here, and he is wide open. Beautiful play call there by Andy Robinson, the passing game coordinator. 1st and goal from the 3. Now Nichols gets hit behind the line of scrimmage and thrown to the turf by Justin Reeves.
Number 9, Jalen Nichols, tackled behind
Reeves is just a junior, and that is outstanding technique there, Darius, you would know.
Absolutely, good job by Justin Reeves, filling the gap, getting downhill, and making a tackle on a running back that's not easy to bring down.
2nd and goal from the 6. Opening drive of the 2nd half here for the Tigers, up by 3. Robinson keeps it. Robinson will go down. Nice defensive play by Julius Moss. Moss over 70 tackles last year. Gets a big stop here as he was able to shed his blocker, Zealand Young, and it's 3rd and goal at the 6.
That time, David Weeks made that play, number 35, Calvary Baptist, getting the backfield and making the running back bounce it outside. Great play.
Robinson to throw. He's going to try to run for it. And a nice move to get into the end zone for a Neville touchdown. Parker Robinson, the sophomore, finds the end zone. And it's 27-18 Tigers.
Right here, Parker Robinson did not see what he liked, kept his eyes down the field, tucked it, got in the end zone. And it's always nice when your quarterback is willing to take a hit it does a lot for your football team. It does a lot to make sure they come together and he gets in the end zone. But it still seems like obviously Calvary Baptist is deflated after those 2 calls that didn't go their way.
Yeah, tough drive there for Calvary Baptist. They're going to have to see if the offense can get it back to a 1-score game. Brooks Yerger with the extra point try right through the uprights as he splits them. Make sure to tune in Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock as the LHSAA Network brings you Power Hour, an in-depth look at influential figures in high school sports in the great state of Louisiana. The show dives deep into the careers and moments of each guest as we feature those who have been the pillars in the Louisiana high school landscape. Well, nice drive there by Parker Robinson and the Neville Tigers. And a really nice play again. Parker Robinson, a sophomore quarterback. Not an easy environment here, but he's handled it very well, Derry.
Absolutely. He has not gave up the game. A great game manager. Hasn't made mistakes. They have a great running game going. Anytime they ask him to deliver and pass the football, he's done a great job.
Here is the kick. And it's going to be taken at the 8-yard line. Neville has done a nice job on kickoff coverage, but this is a decent return here out to the 25, and then finally shoved out of bounds was Colby Thomas. Well, Calvary Baptist has one of the top running backs in the state of Louisiana, James Simon, who is committed to Texas. 3 touchdowns in the state championship game last year where he rushed for 191 yards. He had a huge game last week. Crazy what he was able to do last week. 255 yards rushing in the win over Oak Grove, and he also caught 6 passes for 106 yards. Even though Calvary Baptist is now down by 10 points, Simon will still be a big part of the second half for the Cavs. To the air, Abram winds up, single coverage, and overshoots his receiver, Tucker. Good coverage by Cameron Riley, who's had a very nice game for the Tigers.
Textbook coverage right there by Riley. Forced the receiver to the sideline, got his head around. Great play.
So now 2nd down and 10. As Abram Wardell looks over to the sidelines. This might be a must-score drive here for Calvary Baptist. They got to turn the momentum back in their favor. Now it's Moss in the backfield with Wardell. Wardell, he's feeling the pressure. He'll try to take off, but no, the Neville defense is right there to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the defender to shed his blocker. That's Jacoby Collins, a sophomore linebacker that Coach Mike Collins says will be a very good player before he leaves Neville.
Great job on Neville defense, holding the point intact, coming up with a big play. Obviously, get Calvary Baptist a 3rd long situation. I know I harped on this in the first half. Calvary Baptist has had success attacking the middle of the field. Let's see if they can do the same thing on this play.
3rd down and 9. They rush 5 over the middle, wide open. Colby Thomas. It's now a foot race. Colby Thomas into the end zone. Touchdown, Cavaliers. Never doubt Abram Wardell and this Calvary Baptist offense.
Keep going to it until they figure it out. Attack the middle of the field. That's the success they've been having all night in the passing game. Obviously, you're missing the big safety from Neville. The middle fence has been open all night long. They found Thomas again for a 2nd touchdown.
We were talking about Cameron Riley having a good night. I'm not sure if that was really his guy, but you bring up the good point that Juju Burns, one of the top defensive backs, is a junior in the state, not playing tonight because of an ankle injury. Now can Calvary Baptist convert on a 2-point conversion? They've missed 2 extra points, and they've missed on a 2-point try. They'll try here. Slant pattern, and it's broken up. Good defense there by Jaden Reed. Never allowed Colby Thomas, who needs an oxygen tank, to get to that football.
Here he gets again. Thomas over the middle. Nobody's on him. It's been open all night long. wins the foot race, gets in the end zone. Thomas is a good-looking prospect, good-looking receiver, true-handed receiver as well. He's stepping up big for this Calvary Baptist offense.
Northwestern State and the Raging Cajuns were also offering Colby Thomas, but he has decided to stay in North Louisiana and play for Louisiana Tech. The 3-year starter who has 4.4 speed gets into the end zone again here tonight. And it's a 4-point game. Yeah, he's huffing and puffing right now, Derry.
He is. And he deserves it. He's playing well all night long. And for this Calvary Baptist defense coming up, it's going to be interesting to see how they come over adversity. Are you going to hang your head and say those 2 calls could have went our way? Or are you going to come out and try to make a stop?
Well, how about Calvary Baptist's last 2 touchdowns? It was on that 4th down and 7. Wardell rolls out, hits Tucker in the back of the end zone there. 3rd down and 9. Colby Thomas on a post route, and that one goes 60-plus yards for a touchdown.
Absolutely. This offense can strike it in any spot of the field. Again, that's why they put up 62 points last year. So they're always a threat in any part of the football field.
Ty Knight, another squib kick. But they are just picking on Thomas Campbell, who gets it all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Thomas Campbell saying, keep kicking to me. I'm going to break one before the night is over with.
Thomas Campbell is committed to Nicholls State. Goes to all the LSU games, watches his brother. He'll be tuning in tomorrow morning to watch the Tigers take on South Carolina. Talks with his brother all the time. Him and his brother go over game tape together. And I would imagine Will Campbell's probably a pretty hard critique. Just gauging from listening to him. And Will Campbell, potential top 5 NFL draft pick, and what that would mean for this area to have someone like that who ends up at LSU to get selected in the top 5. Pretty cool stuff. All right, here's Lemons, and he is bottled up. And we talked about him before as Marion Baker. Yeah, you're going to need a few guys to bring him down. Now, I don't know how I got this, but I had him listed at 265. I think he's about 268, Terry. I think he's a little bit bigger than 265.
Absolutely. That's what you call a run stuffer, zero technique. Great play.
2nd down and 12. Right back up the middle. Man, this Lemons kid, just very difficult to stop, and he's got a lot of speed. Another 3rd down coming up. These offenses here tonight have really executed well on 3rd and 4th down. And that time, slipping down was Lemons, and flying through there was Luke Miller, and we've seen him make a couple of open field tackles here tonight.
Good job by Luke Miller as a safety. Always taught to fill the alley. Claudia clear, he read clear, came down, made a great play.
Yeah, Luke Miller, a nice tackle. 5:58, hydration timeout comes up with 4th down and 1. So we'll take the break with them. And they'll sing Sweet Caroline here at Calvary Baptist High School. We'll be back after this.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you.
5:58 to go. 4th down and 1 here for Neville. Up by 4. Nicholls finds some room up the left side, still on his feet, running hard inside the 30-yard line. Another big-time run by Jalen Nicholls, and again, all the talk about James Simon, and Jalen Nicholls is making a name for himself here tonight on the LHSAA network.
Jalen Nichols is incredible. Again, I compare him to Alvin Kamara. I know it's a big comparison, but one thing I noticed about this guy, he never keeps his feet in one place. His legs are always moving. That's why he's able to pick up those extra yards.
Another tackle by Miller, but way too far down the line of scrimmage. Getting his head in there that time and wrap it up was Cole Miller. Miller, 95 tackles, number 2 for the Cavaliers. Had 15 tackles last week in the win against Oak Grove. So 2nd down and 4.
And Jalen Nichols is almost averaging over 10 yards per carry. So
yeah.
That speaks volumes of the type of running back he is, and also volumes of what he did in the offseason as well to prepare himself for this upcoming year.
Certainly did. As we mentioned, was banged up all last year, really didn't have the juice that you need to be a big-time running back in the 5A level and in that difficult district that Neville plays in. But he's got himself healthy, and he's been good. Dumas, a guy who really came on late towards the, or really in the middle of the last year, he started coming on, and he's a good baseball player, is Dumas, and he's got soft hands, and he's a good receiver. And we have a Neville offensive lineman dealing with some cramping issues. I think that's Dylan Jackson.
I wish you could see that last replay on that screen. So watch big Dylan Jackson get out and make a block. An extreme athletic play from the left tackle.
4:50 to go here. It's Calvary Baptist. So they attend to the injured player.
Crucial part in the game here for Calvary Baptist to see if they can keep Neville out of the end zone, maybe hold him to a field goal. Now going down by 7 points, but obviously a touchdown here from Neville. Calvary Baptist continue to play catch up, so it's important for them to get a stop and make sure that they don't allow Neville into the end zone. For Neville, get to this point, obviously, feed the person that's got you down here, Jalen Nichols.
So 1st down and 10. Play action fake. Robinson. Nowhere to go with the ball, and he loses it, and it bounces right to a Neville offensive lineman. Boy, we've seen the ball on the turf a lot here tonight. Tyler Brown, who's done a really nice job on that O-line, ends up recovering it. But good job by Calvary Baptist to get more pressure on Parker Robinson.
And if you're Parker Robinson, the coaches are telling him, Parker, it's 1st down, we in the red zone. Don't try to make a play. Don't hold on to the football. Get rid of the football, throw it away.
It was Justin Reeves that knocked the ball away from Robinson. 2nd down and 14 here. Give it to Nichols. That seems like a good call. And then nice tackle there from behind by the Calvary Baptist defender. That is Pierce Carey.
3rd down.
Good job by Pierce Carey, the outside linebacker, scraping, getting downhill. As linebackers, you always have to read cloudy or clear. If their hold is clear, you feel it. He did an outstanding job making a play.
3rd and 10 from the 15. Can the Cavaliers defense come up with a stop? You got 12 seconds on the play clock. Robinson's got time here. Robinson rolling to his right. Throws complete. Was the receiver out of bounds though? Man, it looked like he had a foot out of bounds at the 6-yard line. He's shy of the 1st down. I think he's shy of the 1st down. As that was caught by Caleb Vaughn. Good job here by Robinson. Let's see, is that foot out of bounds? Oh, man, it's close. Very close. There's 2 officials looking right at it. And it is a 1st down, by the way. He needed to get past the 6. It's at the 5-yard line.
The ref's head was never down at his feet. His head was looking straight, but there's no way he could even pay attention to that.
Robinson with Nichols to his left. Nichols has found the end zone a couple times here tonight. Nichols hit from behind the line of scrimmage, staying on his feet, got to the 5. Cole Miller in on the stop. Actually, Titus Stringer was the guy there, number 3. Stringer got the tackle eventually. But nearly, Marcray had him behind the line of scrimmage.
Good penetration. It's going to take 11 guys to tackle David Nichols. I'm extremely impressed by his lower body strength.
Julius Moss, also one of the defenders there. 2nd and goal. Pitch to Nichols. Nichols has got the blocking to get into the end zone, and he stopped just shy as Justin Reeves, who's been all over the field here tonight for the Cavs, makes the tackle. 3rd and goal.
Tackled by number 10, Justin Reeves.
Reeves had a dozen tackles last week. He's probably in double digits here tonight. Getting underneath the center and just getting in there on the quarterback sneak is Parker Robinson. His 2nd rushing touchdown here tonight, and Neville extends its lead.
Easier said than done. Obviously, use your strength. Neville, I think their girth on the offensive lineman is a lot bigger than Calvary's defensive lineman. Sneaks the quarterback in, gets another touchdown to go up 10 points.
Extra point is good, and it's now 35-24, and the sophomore continues to be playing at a very high level here tonight for the Neville Tigers. 2 rushing touchdowns. He's got a throwing touchdown as well. Jalen Nichols has found the end zone a couple times too.
Very responsible for this Neville offense. And for Calvary Baptist, they're not at this football game. Obviously, you know their offense can score anytime, so it's their job to come down, respond, and punch it into the end zone.
On the back of the Neville Tiger helmets, you can get a look at it. The sticker that's there for TB18, that of course is for Tarver Braddock, who tragically died during a fire at a deer camp in Mississippi. He was set to be on this Neville football team this year. That happened back in January 5th over in Mississippi. Him and several other Neville students were involved in that. And Braddock unfortunately lost his life, and our thoughts are with the Braddock family over that horrible tragedy that occurred in January. And I know Neville still thinks quite a bit about Tarver Braddock. For the Neville Tigers, Brody Watley, the TCU commitment. A 3-year starter on that defensive line. We talked about it. Neville has had a history of developing great defensive linemen at this school, an all-state pick, and he's made his presence known in this game. He was originally committed to Baylor, Missouri, Arkansas were a couple of the other schools that were really interested in him, but eventually he just decided this summer that he wants to be a TCU Horned Frog.
You know how much confidence and swag you have to wear number 0? So you know this guy can play football. TCU is getting a good one.
Guy who was 185 pounds as a freshman is really bulked up. On the move is Wardell. Wardell gallops his way across the 25, getting about 12 yards and a first down. That's the other thing I like about Wardell's game. He can run. He's got some long strides to him for a guy that's only 6 feet tall. But everything this kid does, Terry, he's just so smooth out there. It just does not seem rattled one bit.
He almost plays like he doesn't care, and when I say that, it's very nonchalant, it's very smooth. If you look at the quarterback at Miami, Cam Ward plays the same exact way. Very calm, cool, and collected.
Now he's going deep. His receiver's got 2 steps on the defender. Colby Thomas, another
over Neville's pass complete to number 7, Logan Thomas. Touchdown, Cavaliers.
Subdued celebration. They are saying a touchdown. It's almost like Calvary Baptist way to react, and there's a penalty flag, but there's no flag. This is just Colby Thomas beating his defender easily.
Colby Thomas again, he can stretch the defense, 4-4 speed, gets over the top, beats the corner. Nathan Wardell finds his favorite receiver of the night, Colby Thomas.
Sonny Cumbie and the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs are getting a good one in Colby Thomas. Now, can they convert on a 2-point conversion? They've missed 2 extra points, and they've missed two-point conversions. I don't think I've ever seen that before. As far as just not able to execute, going 0 for 4 basically on the point after the 2-point conversion. There's a sideline warning. That's probably what the flag was all about. That's why the officials, or it was an excessive celebration, I guess is the call. So now that backs him up 15 yards.
Did they call him on Colby Thomas when he's going to the end zone?
I don't know. Well, actually, I guess it's not going to, they're going to, let's see, where are they snapping this ball at?
They're going to do, I think they're assessing the kickoff.
Still taking on a kickoff. And finally getting into the end zone on a 2-point conversion is Simon. And that gets him within 3 points. So once Colby Thomas got into the end zone, he ended up throwing the football and looked back at his defender, and that was enough to draw the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. Good kick-out block there by Dervin Harper. He's the LSU commitment, the offensive lineman for the Cavaliers, who is a transfer from Captain Shreve here in Shreveport. Let's take a look at the flag as Colby Thomas is getting talked to about his actions here at the end of the game, or at the end of this play.
I don't know about that stuff. I mean, he didn't throw the ball at the guy.
He just tossed the ball. Oh.
I don't know.
Yep. 3-point game, though. And that's the difference in this game, the fact that Calvary Baptist missed those 2 extra points, and they've missed on a couple of 2-point tries. So I guess Ty Knight continues just to kick the ball here to Thomas Campbell. It's like those two got a connection.
They do.
And I'm not exactly sure why Calvary Baptist has decided to pick on Thomas Campbell here tonight, but that's what they've decided to do. Now they've actually lined up Thomas Campbell on the other side of the field. There he is. He's been on the near side. They've been kicking it too, so let's see what happens. All right, they avoid him, and they actually kind of keep this one deep. This is Caleb Vaughn. Look out, special speed, but a great open field tackle. Wow, beautiful play there by David Weeks, bringing down the speedster, Caleb Vaughn.
Tackle made by number 25, David Weeks.
I love this game that David Weeks plays, man. This kid's only a junior, 6 foot, 215 pounds. I would imagine he's got to find himself playing college football somewhere on Saturdays. Down in South Louisiana, St. Thomas More leading Catholic High 14-12. That's low scoring.
It is, especially
for those two teams.
Power offenses, STM scores the football, Catholic High scores the football. Yeah. Great defensive matchup.
First down and 10 at the 43-yard line. But those two teams, STM and Catholic High, they have hooked up in some absolute great football games that have gone down to the wire. It sounds like it's going to do that again here tonight. Out to the near side, this is Roberson, but he slips and falls after trying to make a move. But he still picks up 4 or 5 yards there for Jamarian Roberson.
Great job on the RPO, pulls it, sees Roberson in the flats. He probably wish he could have kept his footing. possibly could have got a first down.
We've seen a couple. Nichols has had trouble also keeping his footing out there here tonight, as they've slipped on this turf here at Calvary Baptist. 35 seconds to go in this third quarter. Lemons can't stand around in the backfield too long. Jonathan Blunt, who had 4 tackles last week, 17 tackles a year ago, a senior. Third down. It's been a while since these two defenses, talking about Calvary Baptist and Neville, have come up with a stop. Will it happen here? We're going to have to wait until the fourth quarter. We got 12 more minutes to go in this knockout, drag-out North Louisiana battle between Neville and Calvary Baptist. It's lived up to the hype as these two teams, Parker Robinson and Caleb Colby Thomas, continue to keep making plays here tonight. Don't go away on the LHSAA network.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play. From Calvary Baptist High School on the LHSAA network at Jerry Barker Stadium, Jeff Palermo, Terry Beckwith. It's a 3-point game. Third down coming up here for Neville as we begin the fourth quarter. Glad he could join us from Shreveport.
Coach Calvary Baptist not bringing pressure. He struggled all night, I think, with pressure Parker Robinson.
Pitch it out, and there's a nice little hole there for Lemons to run through as he gets enough for the first down. Gets to the 45, but there is a flag down. And I think this is going against Neville. It's going to push him way back.
Number 4.
The ball is brought back to the 39-yard line. Third down.
That's Jamarian Robertson, the wide receiver. Yeah, he just went out there and tackled Julius Moss. Well, if Calvary is ever going to get off the field, this would be it defensively. You're looking at third down and 13. You got to figure out a way here if you're the Cavaliers. And more discussion here from the officials, just making sure they got.
Remember I talked about earlier, we had penalties. The game was still going pretty smooth. You don't want the referees to dictate the game.
Well, that was an obvious penalty. There's no doubt about that.
But the discussion, like, what are we discussing?
Yeah. Spotted a foul penalty. Back him up. Now Catholic High has retaken the lead over STM 18-14. As soon as we get a final, we will let you know about it. So 3rd and 13. They got to get to the Cavaliers 47, a little bit beyond that. 16 seconds on the play clock as Robinson, who has gone most of the way here tonight for Neville, will look to try to make a play. Let's see if the Cavaliers blitz. They only rushed 3. Robinson lost one downfield, and it's flags called against Julius Moss, who is upset with himself. It's always hard when the pass is underthrown like that. We'll look at it again.
Absolutely. They're going to call this every time. Good coverage, but Julian Moss doesn't get his head around quick enough. They're going to call that every time. I think that's why he's upset with himself. Obviously, he can't see when the ball's in the air, but didn't get his head around quick enough, and that's why they call it the pass interference.
Pass was intended for Javari Lockhart. So 15 yards, and that will keep the Neville drive going. And Moss has played a really good game, just technique-wise. He didn't have it down on that play, Derry.
Also, I never understand that call. I know they want the defense to get their head around, but if he's not physically interfering with the receiver from catching the football, you know.
Yeah, you think with offenses having as many breaks as they get in the game today.
Right.
Lemons is going to be brought down. No, he stays on his feet. Able to spin away from the tackle by David Weeks.
And late hit out of bounds.
Number 0, Tardashi Lemons.
Tardashi Lemons making a name for himself here tonight. Just stays on his feet. And then a big hit at the end there by Ethan Sands. And it's actually good to see Sands back out there. Remember, he was struggling to get off the field earlier in this game. Was that Sands making the tackle? 54? Yeah, number 54. Yep. Yeah, it was. Oh, they're picking up the flag. We'll watch it again. What do you think here, Derry? I think that's an okay call.
It's okay. Look, the defender had his momentum. Look, I'm going to be biased. I feel like offense has too many rules. Goes that way anyway, but obviously the defender had momentum.
Yeah.
You know, running back still in place. So that's a good call.
Nice job by the officials to get together and talk about that one. Finally, the Cavaliers get a break on 2nd and 8. Boy, nice hole there, opened up by the Neville offensive line. And Nichols now looks like he's got some cramping issues going on. And they're going to have to get the training staff to take a look at him. Look at that big hole as he ran behind Van Martinez. You got Braden Blade on that offensive line as well, a 3-year starter, one of the leaders there.
That was textbook by Tyler Brown and Braden Blade. It started off with the double team, then Braden Blade worked up to the second level, got on the linebacker, and was able to create a hole.
And he got some double cramping issues there for Nichols. Tonight's game on the LHSAA Network brought to you by Coca-Cola, Real Magic. Also brought to you by MMR, building on a tradition of success. Also brought to you by Oshner and the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. And the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. Jeff Palermo and Derry Beckwith with you. Week 2 of the high school football season. Calvary Baptist won its season opener over Oak Grove. Neville defeated Evangel. Neville has had a lot of success against Shreveport schools. 68-18 is their record against schools from Shreveport over the years. And trying to get another win here and trying to end the 15-game winning streak for Calvary Baptist. We continue to take a look here at Nichols, and when you have a cramping issue like this, you got to wonder whether he'll be able to return. By the way, the longest winning streak in the state is St. Thomas More at 25 in a row. So both Ruston and Calvary Baptist tonight in jeopardy of losing. And then you got, what did I just say? I said that wrong. Calvary Baptist and St. Thomas More both on could potentially lose here tonight. And then Ruston, they've won 15 in a row. So they would have the longest winning streak.
good to see Jalen Nichols walk out on the sprint. He's been a workhorse. I understand the cramps he's going to get tonight. The weather in Louisiana is still humid.
Yep.
Get some fluids in him. Hopefully we can see him back on the football field.
So Lemons will be the running back. That's a nice backup option if you're Coach Collins and the Neville Tigers. Caleb Vaughn lined up in the slot, now into motion on the jet sweep. Vaughn, he'll get hit hard. Coming up and making another big tackle is Luke Miller. What a huge game this young man has had. A big-time hitter in that defensive secondary, and he is not afraid to throw his body around.
Luke Miller has done an outstanding job from that safety position, filling the alley. In the offseason, when they put a clinic tape on, they're going to show Luke Miller or how you fill the alley as a safety. The guy has done an incredible job tonight. Great-looking football player.
Vaughn was stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Lemons brought down after about 4 that time.
Number 0, Tardashi Lemons.
Tardashi Lemons, a senior. And 9 carries for 35 yards last week, but he has been impressive here tonight. So 3rd and 7. Neville has had a lot of success on 3rd down, and now we got an offensive lineman and Dylan Jackson who just went down to the ground. As the cramping issues continue to persist here for the Neville Tigers. Next week, we'll be in Gonzales at the pit for Sanoma. The Gators taking on John F. Kennedy. We'll have the kickoff for you at 7 o'clock on the LHSAA network. You can also stream it on YouTube. Find the LHSAA network channel. That's all coming up at 7 o'clock on Thursday, September 19th. For Lemon, 16 carries for 100 yards on the night. And just what a setting for high school football here tonight. This has been very impressive, Derry.
It has. It's been an outstanding night for Friday night football. Obviously, these two teams coming together last minute to play each other. The fact that the Neville fans traveling again to Shreveport is incredible. And Calvary Baptist, great hospitality, great people, great fans, and great food, by the way, as well.
3rd down and about 6 here. So you just lost an offensive lineman. I guess if you're Calvary Baptist, you got a new offensive lineman out there. I think you got to try to bring some extra pressure here. Let's see if they blitz. They got Thomas Campbell there to provide assistance to the new left tackle. Run right behind that new offensive lineman is Lemons, who is going to be stopped, I think, a half a yard shy of the 1st down.
And for the viewers at home, when you see 3rd and long and you wonder why Neville still running the football, it's because it's 4th down territory. If they get the 1st down, they're going to go 4th down.
Did they get in there? There's whistles before that ever happened. They try to surprise Calvary Baptist on the quarterback sneak. Let's see what somebody called timeout. Yes, the Cavaliers called timeout. So Robinson will come over to the sidelines. Really been impressed here with Parker Robinson and what he's done here tonight. He has looked very good being a sophomore. It was a question mark this season on who would be the starting quarterback, either Brock Jordan or Parker Robinson. They were sharing reps in the spring, and as we talked about earlier in the game, unfortunately Brock Jordan got ill during preseason camp and was not able to really compete for the job. But Robinson has done a very nice job with it here tonight. For a guy who just threw for 136 yards last week in a win over Evangel, he has looked, they always say, hey, your biggest improvements from week 1 to week 2. You can certainly see how Robinson has improved here tonight.
Absolutely. Obviously, Neville loves to run the football, but they counted on his arm tonight to make big throws, and he has done that.
So this is 4th down and 1. You look at the yardstick on the far side, it looks like it's further than, but it's not. Yeah, see, they're going to move the yardstick over. It's about 4th down and 1. Oh, on the right side, that is Thomas Campbell, who shuffled his feet forward. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty on Neville. Well, his brother Will has had a couple of false start penalties this season, and Thomas gets one at the wrong time right there. 4th down and a long 6. They rush 4. Robinson steps up, and they finally get off the field. They finally come up with a stop. Mark Gray and that Cavaliers defense firing up the home crowd.
Good job of coming off the edge, allowing him to step in the pocket. He's waiting on his Calvary to come in, makes a sack, gets the ball back into this Calvary Baptist offense.
It's been a long time, it seems like, for this Cavaliers defense to finally get off the field, either via turnover or turnover on downs. And now you turn the ball back over to Abram Wardell with the Cavaliers down by 3 with 9:29 to go.
You have the momentum going. Usually we have the momentum going in offense. The first play, I would take a deep shot over the top to see what you can get with Colby Thomas.
Colby Thomas is going to be the wide receiver lined up at the bottom of your screen. Bigelow is in the slot on the bottom of the screen. Wardell, pressure, has to run out of there, staying on his feet across the 40. Finally brought down, very close to the 1st down marker. And they are going to say that if he did get the 1st down, that would be a State Farm 1st down, or excuse me, Louisiana Farm Bureau 1st down.
They try to hit Colby Thomas on the double move at the bottom of the screen. Obviously, Neville did a great job of covering it up. A good job by Wardell picking up the 1st down with his legs.
At the 43-yard line, Thomas in motion. They run a draw here with Simon, and great job by the Neville defensive front, wrapping him up. Malik Grayson, a junior who can really get off the ball, great speed, can rush the passer, made a nice tackle there on one of the state's top running backs. So now it's 2nd down and 11. At the 42. Wardell, wide open. 1st down for the Cavaliers. Caleb Tucker making the catch. Nice job by Wardell to throw it past the flying defender in his face. Robert Graves was coming in at him.
Good job, Wardell, for getting the ball outside the numbers. And for Caleb Tucker, anytime they needed a big play tonight, he has been Mr. Reliable.
Yeah, he's been sneaky good here tonight. So 1st and 10 at the 46. 3-point game. Cavaliers trailing. Neville has led for most of this one. Simon, and they're doing a nice job. There's the TCU commitment. Watley crashing in from his defensive end position to make sure Simon couldn't get going. Only a gain of a couple. I would say Simon's been held in check here tonight, Derry.
I think that was Neville's game plan. Don't let James Simon beat you. Obviously, he had over 250 rushing yards last week and 100 yards receiving. That's almost 40 yards of total offense by himself. So Neville makes sure he does not beat them tonight.
Well, they wanted to try to make them one-dimensional, right? Just make them a team where they got to count on the passing game. The problem is Wardell is good enough to beat you by himself with his receivers. Trying to get to the outside is Simon, and there's Watley again. Couple of power forward players going at it right there. Third down and long. Two great plays by Brody Watley.
Good job by Brody Watley there, working down the line of scrimmage, getting flat, and making a play on James Simon.
Wardell, 322 passing yards here tonight. Colby Thomas has got 199 yards receiving. Big numbers. Pressure coming on the blitz. Wardell going deep. There, that man! Colby Thomas! You can't stop him tonight. Cavaliers have the lead.
Colby Thomas, touchdown,
Colby Thomas is big play, really clean. Again, finds Colby Thomas in the slot. That's a 7 route down the field, vertical. Gets past Rowley. Great touchdown, great play. Incredible wide receiver, incredible running back. Who's going to owe each other dinner after tonight? Does Wardell pay for Thomas or Thomas pay for Wardell?
And Neville brought the blitz. Great job by the Calvary Baptist offensive line to pick it up. Rodney Guin talked about how he's got more linemen this year than he's really ever had here at Calvary Baptist, and he's got a little more size. And they have shown it off here tonight. And now the Cavaliers will look to try to go up by 5. Well, if you haven't heard about Colby Thomas, you know him now. What a night. As the two seniors have connected several times. Simon again going to be stopped. First guy there was Jacoby Collins. So a 3-point game now with Neville getting the ball back. Wow. Thomas, 5'10", 170 pounds. The second team All-State selection last year, playing like a first team All-Stater. Smiles right now for the Calvary Baptist. So down in South Louisiana and Lafayette, St. Thomas More's winning streak is over, as Catholic High has defeated them.
241 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Let's take a look here. As Wardell and Thomas have hooked up several times.
Thomas has great speed, great hands, great vision. That's a great player. Last touchdown right here, Wardell over the top. Gets a seam up the hash, gets into the end zone, gives Calvary Baptist the lead.
And here's Campbell, and he'll be taken down at the 35. So Catholic High defeats St. Thomas More tonight, 18-14.
Number 18, Thomas Campbell on the return. Tackled by number 42.
So that is now 12 consecutive wins for the Bears, while St. Thomas More's 25-game winning streak comes to an end. That's the longest in the state. If Calvary Baptist can hold on and win here tonight, they will have a 16-game winning streak, which would be the longest in the state. We'll be back after this. Calvary Baptist High School. Colby Thomas, 4 touchdown catches on the night. And the Cavaliers leading the Neville Tigers 38-35. Jeff Palermo and Derry Beckwith with you. Parker Robinson now will have to try to lead Neville down. This is where you wouldn't mind a little ball control offense, right? Try to score with less than 2 minutes to go.
If I'm Neville, I'm running the clock out. You don't want to get the ball back into Calvary Baptist offense.
Incompletion there, a misfire from Robinson as he tried to connect with Trenton Dumas. And now this is where the nerves of the sophomore quarterback, he's got to make sure that he settles in here. That ball just kind of came out of his hand funny. I don't think it was deflected.
36-yard line, 2nd down and 10.
So now 2nd down and 10.
Look, if you never don't change anything, lean on the run game. That's what got you here. All game long, had a physical running attack. Still have less than 6 minutes in the game. That's what I'm saying. You want to run this clock down to make sure if Calvary Baptist does get the ball back, they have less time to work with.
Lemons the running back with Robinson, but Robinson will throw again. They try that almost the same slant, and there's Thomas Campbell into Cavalier territory as he gets the 1st down. So Thomas Campbell, nice route, nice catch, and a good throw from Parker Robinson.
Good job from Campbell from the H-back position. Runs a seam of the field, uncovered, 1st down, Neville.
6'2", 230 pounds there from Thomas Campbell. Not easy to bring down. Luke Miller made the tackle. 1st and 10 now at the 38-yard line here. Running again, but Lemon stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Zamarion Baker made the tackle there, bringing Lemons down, and also assist goes to Titus Stringer. 2nd down and 10. That clock running, coming up to the 5-minute mark. Nichols is back out there, it looks like, despite the cramping issues that he was dealing with earlier in the quarter. Got enough fluids in him to try it again. Dumas, the wide receiver, to the top. Always got to keep an eye on Vaughn in the slot. And actually they throw it out to Roberson, and Roberson's got a blocker ahead of him, and he turns on the Jets for a touchdown. My goodness, where did that speed come from? You want to talk about hitting another gear. Jamarian Roberson just blows past the Cavaliers defense.
You can teach hands. You can teach how to tackle. You can teach how to get off the block. One thing you can't teach is speed. And that's something Jamarian Robinson has. He turned on the afterburners and got to the end zone for this Neville offense.
My goodness, a junior. And it was just a little pass out into the flat, and they said, make a play, young man, and he did. 41-38 as we go back and forth in this heavyweight battle. Extra point try coming up. Right through. And that continues to really be the difference in this game. Watch how he's able to stay in bounds here. Man, how he turned the edge there, Derry. I thought for sure they were going to shove him out of bounds. I thought they had the angle on him, and they didn't. Impressive.
Looked like he had extra rockets on his cleats. And he touched the turbo button. If you ever play Supersonic on Sega Genesis, you touch that button. That's exactly what he did. And great vision and awareness to not run out of bounds.
Wow. That was fun to watch. All right. Now go back to Abram Wardell and this Calvary Baptist offense. Got plenty of time to work with. Yerger's got it teed up. Oh, it gets past the return man there, so touchback. And Calvary Baptist will have to start at its own 20 as Colby Thomas, that was the one thing he couldn't catch here tonight. Well, how do you defend this guy? He's burned you for 4 touchdowns. He's got over 200 yards receiving. What do you do?
I would say bring an extra defender over the top and bracket coverage, but you can't because Caleb Tucker has been effective all night as well. So anytime you have another receiver that's a complement to Kobe Thomas, it's hard to double anybody. If I'm Calvary Baptist, I'm confident in my offense, but also for Neville, I think it's time now to bring some pressure and see if you can get Wardell to make some inherent throws on this drive.
Simon, it's got a hole. Simon running hard. That's a man that's running angry right now. Again, I think Neville's done a nice job containing him here tonight, but he's more than capable right now with 4.5 left to go in this game to carry Calvary Baptist to another touchdown. I mean, whoever has the ball last in this game seems like they're going to win. So can you hold it for 4 minutes and 15 seconds if you're the Cavaliers?
And if you also want to try to win the football game, but you can do that, obviously that'll be ideal for the Calvary Baptist offense. But if James Thomas breaks the run, you're not going to tell him to stop. Don't get in the end zone.
Calvary Baptist is confused. I don't think Wilson knows where to line up. So they got to use a timeout here. Coach Guin not happy about that. The high school spotlight is in its second season and airs live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on the LHSAA Network's live channel. The high school spotlight features all of the top stories in high school athletics from around the state in all of the sports. 1st and 10 at the 32. Coach Guin, you know, there's a lot of talk that he might hang it up after winning that state championship in the Dome last year. But heck, man, when you got Abram Wardell as your quarterback, you might as well just keep your day job, right? No reason to go sit on the sofa with this young man.
Absolutely, and this team is very capable of getting back to the Dome this year. Explosive offense, experience on the defense. So why not come back for another year to see if you get another state title? Add to the collection.
Well, he's doing an outstanding job with this program. Just absolute power. We'll see, who might be their toughest competition. Of course, they beat St. Charles Catholic in the state championship game last year. St. Charles Catholic has moved up. Now Lafayette Christian has moved down. Dunham could be a team that could be reckoned with this year. Oh, big time hit. We continue to have a little bit of everything in this contest. That's Robert Graves. That's the second time we've seen him really drill a Calvary Baptist offensive player. Man, taking a big lick there was Braylon Huglin.
Graves defeats the block, gets downhill, and makes the play. And we talked about earlier when Graves watching film, he knew that play was coming. He read it, made a great play.
2nd down and 10. Wardell flushed out of the pocket. Wardell's just going to have to run. He got a block. Look at this young man get close to that 1st down marker. Finally taken down by Connor Vincent. It looks like it's enough for a 1st down. Kind of depends on the spot.
Wardell did a great job of tucking it, making something out of nothing. Like you said, Jeff, this guy is very athletic.
How about those shoulder moves, man?
He can run the football.
There is a flag, and this is coming back. So all that work by Wardell goes for naught. That's going to push him way back. They'll spot the ball at the 24. We'll look at it again. I think they're going to call that. Yeah. I think they're going to call that on number 54. That's Ethan Sands, who's been going both ways here for the Cavaliers. The terrific defensive lineman now playing on offense during this crucial time of the football game. Well, It's second down and 17, but nothing that Abram Wardell and this Calvary Baptist, actually it's going to be even more than that. Man, the ball spotted all the way to the 15-yard line. So that makes it second down.
Second down and long.
The PA announcer said second and long, but it's second and 28.
And obviously you don't have to get all 28 yards back in this play. Get enough yards to make your third down manageable.
Man, another big-time hit. That time applied by Richard White as he leveled Caleb Tucker. And it's third and long.
Ball placed at the 20-yard line.
4-down territory maybe here, Derry, with under 3 minutes to go.
Absolutely. Neville obviously playing zone, rushing 3, dropping 8, keeping everything in front of him, coming down, making a tackle.
Third down and 22. Got to get to the 42. Well, here's where you got to go to Colby Thomas, right? Number 7 for Calvary Baptist. Figure out a way to get him the football. You got 8 seconds on the play clock here. Wardell has to get out of there, and he's going to be sacked. Big-time defensive play for Neville. Anzalone Perkins broke his ankle last year in August, missed the season, and comes up with the big defensive play of the year so far for Neville.
And again, great job by Jason Parker, engaging, keeping the shoulder upfield, getting off the block. I've been extremely impressed with Jason Parker tonight, the basketball player.
Yep.
The guy has played relentless. He played with his hands. He's played disciplined, kept the quarterback in the pocket. Great game by that young man.
Calvary Baptist has to keep the offense on the field. I mean, this is 4th down and 32. 4th and 32. Finally, they use a timeout. 1:37 to go. And a game that has seen 80 points here tonight. It's a big defensive play here that has Calvary Baptist with its backs up against the wall, and that 15-game winning streak and 17-game home winning streak on the line here. And for Mike Collins and the Neville Tigers, they are one defensive stop away from a huge win, another win in Shreveport.
And like for Wardell, obviously he has a lot of experience. He was trying to make a play on that last play. Obviously, you don't want you to hold the ball that long. Get rid of it. They flush the pocket, try to throw the ball away. But obviously, look, they've been extremely explosive. So if you're explosive offense, you feel like you can make every single play. Right here, see what they can do. And for Neville, and this play, man, drop everybody, keep everything in front of you. Obviously, they have 4th and Mississippi River to go to get the first down.
I'm not going to doubt this young man. He keeps making play after play after play. But Neville's defense has just turned it up a notch here. They're only going to rush 3. And then they got everybody back. It's going to take a minor miracle to convert on 4th and long here. Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage, and that's your ball game. And there's your man, Jason Parker, knocking it down. And the Neville Tigers are going to end the 15-game winning streak of the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers.
As D lineman, you always talk about when the ball is in the air, your hands in the air, and he does a great job.
They were trying to get it to Colby Thomas. I don't know if they had like a hook and lateral set up there or what, but it doesn't matter. The Neville Tigers are about ready to have a happy bus ride back to Monroe.
What a great decision for Jason Parker to get out the hardwood to come on the gridiron. Outstanding decision. That guy's going to play on Saturdays, most definitely.
He's got the long arms that you look for with a defensive lineman. And he's had a really good game, and he makes a big defensive play here to basically lock it up for the Neville Tigers. And Neville looks like they're just going to get in victory formation here. And what we expected to be an absolute Titanic of a football game with all kinds of thrills and ups and downs. Has certainly lived up to all of it. Neville Tigers are going to be a force to be reckoned with in Division I Select. Calvary Baptist are still the team to beat in Division III Select. But what a huge win here for Mike Collins. You consider everything that this program has been through. We talked about the death of a player. You lose your head coach. And you turn to Mike Collins, who has been a legendary figure in the state of Louisiana as far as a coach. Talked about where he's been, coaching at several programs and the college level. Everybody knows this guy. If you're involved in football in Louisiana, you know Mike Collins. And I think there's a lot of people that are probably who are watching this game in the coaching profession happy for Mike Collins here. This is a huge win for the Neville Tigers.
Huge win for Neville Tigers. Obviously, I think this team will be competing for a state championship. Both teams will be competing for a state championship. Calvary Baptist should not hang their head. They gave a great performance tonight. So expect these two teams come down the line to see them in the Dome in December.
Well, this is what Louisiana high school football is all about. Two great programs, a great facility, great fan bases, cheerleaders, bands, an absolutely fantastic atmosphere in Northwest Louisiana, and these two teams put on a show for the entire country. The Neville Tigers defeat Calvary Baptist 42-38. We'll have more when we come back. You're watching the LHSAA Network.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Tonight's game on the LHSAA Network brought to you by Coca-Cola Real Magic and by MMR, building on a tradition of success. Also brought to you by Oshner and the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute and the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Louisiana agriculture. 42-38, Neville wins this game here over Calvary Baptist in what was just an absolute knock me out, rock'em sock'em kind of game, that's for sure here tonight. Let's take a look at the highlights of this one. We got a ton of them to show you. I was really impressed with Parker Robinson, the starting quarterback for Neville. He got going early, connected with Caleb Vaughn there. He was in complete control this whole game, showing his ability not only to use his arm, but his legs. He would score 2 rushing touchdowns. And Abram Wardell and Colby Thomas, they are a lethal combination.
They're going to give a lot of defensive fits this year, their Wardell-Thomas connection. And obviously, again, Campbell, his physicality getting the end zone. But Wardell showed a lot of grit tonight. Not only his arm, but his legs as well. Again, hitting Thomas on the streak route, getting down the field. 4 for speed. You can't teach that. The guy is incredible. One of the best receivers, I think, in the state this year.
Calvary Baptist's inability to hit extra points and convert on 2-point conversions was a big factor in this game. They just converted on 1 there. How about this throw to Colby Thomas? Again, 4 touchdown catches for Thomas, the Louisiana Tech commitment. And this is the game winner. Got it out to Robertson, who just turned it up and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As a role player, there's a bunch of stars in this game, but it was Jamarian Roberson who ends up making the big play in this contest. And this was a fun game to watch. Calvary Baptist throws for nearly 400 yards in this game. All those turnovers were in the first half. There were some penalties in this contest, but Neville rushing for 265 yards. They wanted to come in here, run the football. That's what Neville does, and they were able to do that here tonight.
I think the telltale of the game is this. He seemed to have the identity. Neville obviously likes to run the football. Calvary Baptist likes to pass football, but for Neville to get 157 passing yards and to hold Calvary Baptist and St. Simon to 99 yards,
yes,
I think that was the difference in the ballgame tonight.
Yeah, Simon went off last week in the win over Oak Grove, but one of the best defensive minds in all of Louisiana high school football, Mike Collins, figured out a way to just keep Simon in check. Don't let him beat you and make this team one-dimensional. And then when you got them pinned back like they did on that final drive of the night, Neville's defense was able to finally make the defensive stand to end the game. Want to thank everyone involved in this broadcast, our director, Kim Giat, our producer, Jeff Schneider, Jason Pugh, our statistician, for a great crew here on the LHSAA network, the hospitality that Calvary Baptist has shown. For Derry Beckwith, I'm Jeff Lerma. We'll see you next Thursday night in Gonzales. For Sanoma and John F. Kennedy, you've been watching the LHSAA network.